You're watching Poindexter Lounge for the Unity. You're watching Poindexter Lounge. You already know.
Larry Bird! Poindexter, you're getting all excited.
What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and it is good to have you with me in the lounge today. Now, just know this: if this is your first time to the lounge, the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me and my friends can get together and talk about all the things that we love. Things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, and so much more. And if those are things that you enjoy, if those are things that get you going down to your local comic book store and raiding the back issues, trying to figure out like what happened back in the past that could possibly spur Zack Snyder to put the incarnations that he has put together, given the fact that you know that Zack Snyder is an avid comic book reader and knows his stuff, then ladies and gentlemen, you have found the right place. And so if that is indeed you, please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know when we're putting out new videos, because we want you to be here for each and every one of these videos. We want you to be a part of this growing this growing group of nerds, this growing army of nerd people. You're my people. You're my people. And I'm thankful for each and every one of you. And so welcome tonight. Tonight's going to be a fun night. I'm just glad to be in the lounge with you all and to be able to have fun with you guys, because you guys truly make life lots of fun. That being said, I do want to say thank you as always. I can never say it enough. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. You guys are fantastic. Very grateful to all of you who support the channel. And then also thankful to all of our members. Our members are fantastic. And with membership, you get all kinds of cool additions and add-ons and stuff like that. You can check out those Patreon, all the Patreon perks, I guess it were. Those are all down in the description below. And then also our membership, there's a lot of cool things that come with membership, including things like emojis, emoticons, stuff like that. You could say stuff stiff-tastic, or like that's just wrong, or give some nonsense, the evil eye, whatever you want to do. It's a lot of fun, and that's what we do here at the Poindexter Lounge. We have some fun. Oh yeah! And so we're gonna have some fun tonight for sure. So thanks to all those people who come alongside us and and you show us some love. And speaking of showing some love, we like to show some love right back to you. And so if you become a Patreon supporter, if you already are, or a member, or you give a super chat at any time in the next 2 weeks before the end of the month, this will be going to you right here. Well, this is possibly going to you. You'll be in the running for this Cloverfield 3-movie collection. We're going to give that to somebody, and hey, why not have it be you? We'd love it for it to be you. But also, don't forget, next month coming up, this last Monday, just last night, we gave away the Batman Noir, The Long Halloween, to our good friend Rel McMillan, who is a member of the channel, and we're very, very grateful for him. And he got that. But here's what's coming up. I'm so excited about this, and that's why I got to keep sharing it. And I'm actually going to add to this. So just sit back and wait, because there's more coming with this set. Somebody is going to walk away with this set. And I tell you what, you might as well let it get in the running for this. This is going to be in honor of the Snyder Cut coming out on the 18th. We're going to give away The Death of Superman. It's all going one place. World Without a Superman, The Aftermath. You're going to get this right here. Reign of the Superman, The Return of Superman. This is a great book. One of my favorite. I got all these comics, man, to lead up to it. And I'll tell you what, that's a lot of collecting right there. And then also the Hunter Prey series. You're going to want this. This is This was a fantastic series that came out. Look at that bright, vibrant color right there. Glossy pages. Oh, it was such a great story for sure. Look at the colors that jump off that page on these. This was glossy before. Oh, look at that. Look at Doomsday. Oh my gosh. Like this is such a great set. And if maybe you remember this event happening, but you never collected all the books, this would take you quite a while to find all the back issues for the back issues for this. Plus, we're going to throw in a couple other things, which I'll be announcing as the time comes closer. So, hey, that's going to be there. It's going to somebody. So why not you? That being said, we got some things to cover tonight. We got some things to talk about, and I'm excited to do that. So here's some stuff we're going to talk about tonight, and I got a couple people who are going to join us, but it's interesting to me because I do want to address one thing, and that is I feel like sometimes Batman 89 is completely acceptable to a lot of fans nowadays, right? People, when Michael Keaton was mentioned to come back, it was completely fine. Superman 78 has become a hot button topic. And I think, look, I'm a fan of Superman 78. Christopher Reeve was my Superman. I get it. But there's been a backlash of Superman fans against like Henry Cavill, against the Snyderverse, because it's not the bright, cheerful Superman. And I think that it's caused a rift and a divide, because where Batman 89 seems to be a very acceptable, popular thing still, Superman 78, it's kind of, some people just don't appreciate it for what it is. I love it all. But it was announced today that we're going to be getting new comics to continue those stories in both. Also, we're going to talk about Rian Johnson supposedly still doing his Star Wars trilogy. Really? We're going to talk about that. And then also, the scalpers, the PS5 scalpers, they're upset that they've been vilified for buying all the PS5s and then selling them at a $450 markup. We're going to talk about that here too. But before we do that, we're going to bring in a couple of guests. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him. You love him. He's one of your faves. He's one of my faves too. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome all the way from parts unknown, from the high desert, Brian Master of None. What's up, Brian Master of None? How you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic. I was getting hyped before the show, and to the contest, you too can win.
Yeah, you won. You won. You are a testament to the fact that people actually get this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It is not made up. It is not made up. We actually give this stuff away. And then, yeah, it is, man. It's a lot of books for sure. And then also tonight, you love him or you hate him. There doesn't seem to be any in between. There's no going back. Once you have found yourself in the presence of the one true great Matt Jarbo. What's up, Matt?
Why do you lie to your audience? Why do you lie? You're a man of faith. You can't tell a lie, so that's how you know how awesome I am.
I said people either love you or they hate you.
Well, I think there's some with lukewarm tendencies to me, but I'll go with the extremes here. Why not?
All right. Sure.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah.
How are you doing tonight, sir?
I just got home, actually. I was out doing my food deliveries and made my money, and then it got slow. Nice. And so I was like, well, Enoch is on, so I might as well, I don't know, stop by, make the stream better, something like that. So here I am.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So tonight we're going to be talking about how Batman 89 actually kills people. And anyone who says that Batman doesn't kill is full of it. Also, PS5 scalpers, secret heroes, or supervillains of video games. We don't know. Up for you to decide. And finally, Rian Johnson's sequel trilogy is coming. And I don't know about you, but so am I. Okay. I thought he was going to come back in on that joke. I guess I just demonetized his entire stream.
You're lucky I'm blowing my nose.
Whoops.
I try to be discreet. I think I'm being discreet because I think that the people don't want to see me over here, doing this, and you just like.
No, I hear you, man.
There you go. What are you gonna do? I try, folks.
I don't know.
I try. Well, we did. Let's check. Let's check real quick and see if YouTube caught that and made us limited. Yes, it did.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great
I'm clipping that.
Yes.
That's going to get clipped.
I need a haircut so bad. It's been months.
Gosh. And hey, making his wonderful return to the lounge. You love him, and I've missed this guy, Mr. Ray. Well, his name, he's not Ray. He's Tony, aka Ray, the drunk guy in Canada.
Well, that's from Jarbo, so I had to add that to my moniker now. You're like,
that is correct, sir. You are drunk.
Not today.
Canada. You look sober. Like your eyes look clear. Your skin looks better, so your liver's processing liquids. That's good. You know what? There's a certain kind of chipperness to you. Welcome to soberhood. It's fantastic.
No, it's because somebody went too hard last night and forgot his life. So this is my first drink of the day. So
there we go.
Cheers.
See, I'm on antidepressants, so I haven't even had booze in like a year and a half. So I'm just like, that's what I keep being told, but I'm all like, I'm a little bit afraid to do it, all things considered.
Well, I'm a little bit country.
So much more fun.
A little bit country.
Yeah.
And you're a little bit rock and roll, so
I need to go off my antidepressants so I can be a drunk again. That's how it works.
Is that how it works?
That's where the big bucks come in.
That's where it's like, hey, let me tell you something about Gina Carano, okay? Like, she's kind of a hot lady, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I would like, but like, I mean,
it's gotten crazy, folks. It's already gotten off the rails. I can already see.
This is what you get for sending me an invite, so I am putting this on you.
Okay, it's on me. It's on me, folks. I
was talking to my buddy, and I saw you guys come on, and I was like, I have to go. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I wasn't going to come on if you had a whole bunch of different people on, but I was like, Brian, Jarbo, I'm coming.
Well, I mean, yeah. That makes sense.
I think it's a good quartet.
Do you have a tissue?
Possibly.
Well, that being said,
the snot thickens.
It's not what you think. It's not what you think.
And I'm sober.
All right. Well.
All right. Sorry about that.
Hey. Thanks for being here, folks. We'll see you next time here in the Poindexter Lounge. Just kidding. All right. No, I do want to address somebody. Todd, what's up, Todd? Fair, good to see you. $5 super chat. Thank you so much for that. And I'll direct this question maybe around the horn before we get started with our first topic. But do you think that Zack Snyder should direct a Marvel movie? Brian.
No. I don't know.
That's a very direct answer.
It was
succinct to the point.
You know,
unlike a Zack Snyder movie.
Yeah. No, I just don't see the styles meshing very well. So I mean, you know, he seems to do well with DC. So why mess with a good thing? You know what I mean?
Why typecast him though?
Well, I mean, all things considered, he's typecasted himself in regards to directorial
he's capable of
roles.
directing anything he wants, but like I said, I don't know.
Well, I mean, he did, what is it? He did, 300, Watchmen, Man of Steel, BVS, Justice League. So that's like 5 films, and his, in between then, like the only thing he did that wasn't that what comic book related, DC comic book related, was Sucker Punch, which was an original story.
Right.
And then now he's doing Army of the Dead, and then whatever else he comes on to. Now, an Arthurian? He's doing an Arthurian tale. He's a faithful adaptation of King Arthur. I don't quite know what the hell that means, to be honest with you, but
and how many of them have we had already?
I mean, Warner Brothers already did like a King Arthur movie a couple years ago.
British star is going to star in this now. Like we get to about 55 years old, it's like, okay, we got to make another one of those because this guy's 55 now. So he'd be a perfect.
Right. Chinfin corrected me. That's right. Zach also did do Legend of the Guardians of whatever, the Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Ga'Hoole, yeah.
Which actually I saw in theaters when it came out because I was working at the theater in LA and we could go to any theater I wanted, and I was like, I want to go see this owl movie, and it was good. I was really surprised. There was an awesome Roadrunner short film, Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner short in front of it that was great.
Really?
So yeah, there was this. It was it was like a remaster, like it was a new one that they did using like updated animation for the time, but that was cool as hell seeing Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner on the big screen. Even in a short, I was laughing. I was like probably one of the only people laughing in the theater because I'm like, I grew up watching this stuff.
Yeah.
Then they asked him to leave. So they're like, sir,
well,
you got to go.
We're like, sir, this is a Denny's.
Why are you hysterically laughing?
Why aren't you wearing pants?
Exactly.
Churning butter, baby. Churning butter.
Well, I think says no shirt, no shoes, no service.
I don't think... Personally, I don't think, Todd, I'll take your question seriously. I know, I'm just messing. I'm trying to do something at the same time. I swear, man. I tell you what, a lot can be said for trying to do that.
Well, let me quickly answer. I also agree with Brian. No, I don't think Zach should direct the Marvel movie. Just because I don't think that, like, with Feige, like, I love Feige, but I don't know if they would mesh well. Look at like Patty Jenkins and Feige, bringing in Alan Taylor, which was like a good call at the time because he came off of Game of Thrones and Boardwalk Empire. Mm-hmm. And then it just kind of failed to kind of connect in the way that audiences wanted. And so I think Zach would have he would try something a little bit too, I don't know, like out there, I think, for like the general Marvel audience. And but maybe, Taika Waititi was a hardcore departure. James Gunn was a hardcore departure from what you would expect. So, I mean, anything can happen.
That's true. Yeah. I agree with you guys. I don't see where he would fit. I don't see him as a good fit for Marvel, in general. I mean, look, if people complain enough already about his DC films, you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to nobody would just accept, The
other thing too, I think it would be endlessly compared to each other. Those movies, if you did a Marvel movie, it would be every single, it would go, okay, it would be compared to something else, DC wise. Yeah. I don't think he really wants that. Right?
No, I don't think so either. I think that his style doesn't fit, Marvel at all. I think it would be a huge departure for Marvel to try to do something like that. And I don't know if they have the guts, you know what I mean, to do something like that, to bring in
to bring in someone like Zach.
To do what now?
To bring in someone like Zach?
To bring in somebody like Zach?
No, maybe I missed something, but it sounded like your thought kind of trailed off there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like that they would, to bring in somebody like Zach into a Marvel movie. I feel like it just wouldn't fit. You know what I mean? Like he would not fit what they're doing in their films.
Well, I think, what, kind of a hot take on this one would be, I personally believe that Zack Snyder works better in the long form. So I think having a TV show would be right up his alley, or like having it longer on streaming. So if they're going to be doing, like, look at WandaVision and the kind of, you could say, the experiments are taking with that. The chances are taking with that, and it's paying off really well. They might want to go further into the weird. And we are hearing, again, not confirmed, but we are hearing that like the 20th Century Fox or 20th Century Studios is going to be handling the R-rated Deadpool, as well as the R-rated Blade movie. So if they wanted to bring in someone like Zach to handle something that would be R-rated, because I think that's in his forte, to be honest with you, maybe something like, I would love to see Zach handle the Punisher. I think that'd be pretty wild. I think with John Bernthal, I think they'd have a lot of fun together. And I want John Bernthal back because that dude is amazing. So I think on that front, that would work out well, because I feel like Feige's going to take more of like a bit of a hands-off approach to those. Mm-hmm. They're still under his purview, but it's like he's going to allow those to kind of be their own thing and still kind of work within the system. But his attention is going to be like main story Marvel, Disney Plus, because that's where Iger and Chapek, want it going. So, I mean, I could see it being over on that side where it's kind of more of like a smaller imprint sort of thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I think the reaction would, if they did that, would probably be something like this.
School's name was
Where is it? Where is the cocaine?
You've just been waiting to play that clip.
or this one. Nicotina's mom! Oh, yeah! Nicotina's mom!
I know there's one more.
Scotch! Scotchy, scotch! There it goes down. Down into my belly! Kind of a big deal. That escalated quickly. Do you really love the lamp? Oh, trust me, there's like 12 more.
Oh, the one okay, because there was one that you posted in the DM, and it was like, I'm in my car, and I'm like, what is this? And then all of a sudden, it's just like, Dawson!
Yes.
Dawson!
Yes. I love it. I love it. Good stuff. But yeah, no, Todd, I do think, I don't think that Zach would fit with a Marvel movie. I think he needs to stick to what he does and do that well, because I don't think that and I think you said it, Matt, I don't think that he's at this point in his career now, especially with everything that's happened. Like, I don't think that he's would maybe even want to come into a situation where he's going to be like so controlled like that with somebody with their thumb over him. Like,
they're going to handcuff him like crazy. So
I mean, Feige could give some like hands off, sort of thing. Cause they did let James Gunn kind of run wild with Guardians and Guardians 2. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and then again, it's also possible that like Feige has lightened up quite a bit because they have taken some like chances in the last couple of years. Like, I mean, Black Panther, I don't know if the Black Panther is ever going to be in question of being a big hit, but it was a good movie. And I think like he allowed them to play within that culture and to play within those characters and to have a lot of fun with it. And so maybe he's ever since, he and Ike Perlmutter split ways because he wasn't having to deal with that oppressive boss on his shoulder. And he has the freedom to do what he wants. So he's also allowing his creatives to have more freedom. And that could be a thing he could have softened up over the years, because he knows at this point, these movies are basically $1 billion affair,
Yeah.
And so if everything was as overseen by him, I don't think we'd get something like Ant-Man Quantumania. The title of alone sounds like a Disney World ride. Mm-hmm. So it's like they're playing around with some stuff, and I'm really interested to see where it goes, because I rewatched WandaVision, all 6 episodes yesterday, and I'm like, this show is so good.
So good.
Good.
Third episode, everything clicks for you. I told people you just have to make it through the first 3 episodes, and then you're
what's funny is, like, for me, I was sold like within the first minute on the first episode, because I grew up watching Nick at Night. Yeah, and I'm like, if they were to craft a show that was literally set in this world, and it was like the 50s and 60s, and it was playing up those old tropes, I would probably watch it every week and love what I'm seeing, because it felt refreshing, even in the fact that it was an older property. I loved it. I just want to spend more time in that world, like Pleasantville. You know,
Yeah.
like just go back and spend time in that world a little bit to have a bit of fun where it's not completely overburdened by like the overarching Marvel story, you know?
You know what? And I'll be honest with you, you know, like, my son, he didn't understand the first two. Okay.
Yeah.
And, because, you know, he's 16 and, you know, he was
He's never
like,
seen
quite,
Bewitched.
no, well, that was the thing. No, he hasn't. And he wasn't enjoying the old school look of it. And I kept telling him, man, stick with it, buddy. It's you know, it's going to pay off. And you know, I mean, it ended up paying off, but it took him a minute to I guess to feel comfortable with it. But then once it did pay off, he liked it. But me and Tiffany, while we were watching it, we were loving the old school.
I liked it too. I just didn't know what it was. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was thoroughly entertained with the first two episodes, but I also remember at the end going, what the hell did I just watch? And, you know, I was like, I enjoyed it, but I was like, what did I just watch? And where is it going to go? Like, and then when they finally open up that Pandora's box and show you the other side of the mirror, you're like, wow, okay, now I'm invested. Like, I know the last 3 episodes are going to be an hour. They've said it, right? So
that actually hasn't been confirmed. That was yeah. There was a post going around that said like Kevin Feige confirmed that the last 3 episodes, and so it's like, but I read a report that was like that hasn't been confirmed yet.
It's gonna be 45 minutes and then 15 minutes of credits. So
yeah, lots of credits. They got to put in those you know, international names.
Hey, ambassadorial wing. Just for you. Tastes like sugar. Yum. Stripper. That's
what the hell?
When we were even doing it live, we were like, it's like Jarbo entered the chat already. But
I don't talk about cocaine and strippers that often, Enosh. Okay, I have standards.
We save it for the weekends. Yeah.
Yeah, today's Tuesday.
Define not often.
The rule is you don't do cocaine on a school night. Everybody knows that.
Okay. All right. Apart from that, real quick, and then we're gonna jump into our topics. But Tom Hanks Ballsack 69 says with a $2.99 super chat, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Says, what are your top 5 comic book movies? All of you. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna start with Tony. You go. Top 5.
Top 5 comic book movies. Jeez. I'm gonna, you know what? Superman, 1979. I love that Christopher Reeve Superman. Let me see. I got a bunch of movies here. What else is? Wow, that's tough. That's a tough list to put together right off the top of my head here.
All right, we'll come back to you, Brian.
Yeah, come back to me.
Oh shit.
Let me write something down.
Yeah, I mean,
where's Dawson when you need him? Dawson! Dawson! Ah!
That's the one I heard.
That's the one you heard right there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we know he's already got this. Matt, while they're thinking, you go.
Like, okay, so these are in no particular order, by the way, so I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
Definitely Man of Steel, BVS. Those are 200%. I mean, probably even Watchmen. Like, I know Snyder's taking up like 60% of this list, but the dude makes good stuff.
He does.
I would have to go probably Sin City. I just love Rodriguez's Sin City from 2005, and then The Dark Knight probably. It's not that Marvel movies don't have a place in there as well, but those are the first 5 that came to my head. So right now it's like, because I love Marvel, but it's like one arcing story. So pick your chapter sort of thing.
Yeah.
Can I just put the MCU into one category because it's consistent? But yeah, I mean, look, Sin City is a beautiful movie. Even 16 years later, the way they shot that on digital back in the day, and the work they did. The Dark Knight, just like, my God, that summer was nothing but Heath Ledger Joker, but in a good way.
Yeah.
And then what Snyder has done with his movies, like, there's no way Watchmen is not like one of the most visionary and visually appealing
I agree.
comic book movies ever. From just like the cinematography alone and that opening, the opening sequence, right? Just with fighting the comedian and then going into the opening montage. It is just beautiful how they crafted it, how they made it work, and how they just made it flow together, where you kind of just wanted to spend more time in this cinematography style. And I just love the way that he shoots his movies, and I love the way that he has adapted these characters. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
All right.
Okay. I think I got it figured out now.
Okay.
Me too. I got a list now.
I got, like Matt did, no particular order. Superman, the original. I love the soundtrack. John Williams' music gives me goosebumps to this day. Like, I love the Superman theme. The other one is Man of Steel. I love that freaking movie. I've watched it probably about 5-6 times in the last month. It's a great film. I love it. I even like the music in that too. At first, I really partial to the John Williams. So when the Hans Zimmer score is like boom boom, I'm like, oh, right on. Let's do this. I am going to go with a one Marvel movie, Winter Soldier. I really like that movie.
Oh yeah, that's super good.
Yes,
the MCU goes.
I agree.
A spy thriller like that, just at that perfect time. I mean, and then to split Shield off, basically. I mean, that was such a great movie. Batman Begins is another one. I really like Christian Bale's Batman, and getting to see that with Ra's al Ghul and all that kind of stuff. I really liked it, especially with Liam Neeson. I mean, you can't go wrong. And then Batman Returns. How could you not go wrong with Christopher Walken? I mean,
how could you not go wrong?
Well, how could you go wrong with Christopher Walken? I mean, the man is a genius. So, and not only that, I liked Danny DeVito's Penguin, even though it was kind of gross. I remember, what was it, 92 when it came out? I was 9 years old, and just like the black mouth, it was like, oh god. Michelle Pfeiffer, it was a great movie, and it kind of wrapped up the Keaton side of Batman. So
yeah,
there you go.
No, I hear you. All right, Tony, we're coming to you, buddy.
I'm gonna stick. Well, we got some carry or overlap here as well, obviously.
Well, sure.
This is not in any particular order as well. Like I said, Superman, the original. I'm with you. I love the score, the John Williams score. It's one of those things when you hear it, it makes you smile. And you're like, oh, dun, 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 dun. It's like, oh wow, you feel pumped.
Makes you want to lift a car.
Yeah, I really liked Wonder Woman, the first one. I wasn't a huge fan of 84. Like I said, it was okay, but I wanted to see more Christian Wiig. Third, I like the first Captain America. I like Winter Soldier too, don't get me wrong, but I love the first one. I love the Red Skull being in it and doing it justice. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see more of that, actually, more of the Red Skull. Like, if they're going to do another one of these Captain America movies, send it back to that era or something,
Sure.
But they can't, because that's where he gets frozen, I understand. But next, this is a fun movie that makes me smile, and I don't mind watching it over and over, is Shazam. I actually like Shazam. It's quite good. And I'm going Dark Knight as well. Like, Heath Ledger and all that. Like, just, yeah. And kind of like I'm going to say my like number 6 that's down here that I just want to mention. It's not even a movie. I really, really enjoyed what they did with Daredevil, because he is one of my favorite characters in the TV series. And I would love to see that actor come back and reprise his role in one of the MCU movies, I'd like to see, that's what I'd like to see. And I'm curious.
Yeah. You know what? I got to tell you, man, Daredevil, I know that a lot of people have hated on that movie traditionally.
Oh, that movie's horrible. I don't think that movie's good.
But
wait, Daredevil?
Fighting Elektra in the park. Why?
The director's cut was pretty good.
I like it, man. Elektra, the movie Elektra, absolutely it reeks. But but Daredevil, I really like Daredevil, and I don't apologize for it. I just do. But everybody likes something different. For me, for me, mine was the same for a long time, but Man of Steel's number one for me. It was the Superman movie that I always wanted to see growing up, especially the more that I read John Byrne's version of the character, that evolved, over time. I just love that version of the character. in the comics, and so that's what I saw with Man of Steel, and so I love Man of Steel. My number 2 would be Superman 2, ahead of Superman the movie, even because it to me Superman 2 was the movie that caught my attention. Like I love Superman the movie, and I totally respect Superman the movie for what it is in the vernacular of movies, right? But as far as like sheer excitement as a kid, if you plot me down in front of Superman or Superman 2, I would have watched Superman 2 100% of the time, just because I love the 3 villains. I loved Zod, Non, Ursa. I loved, the story, Superman losing his powers, Superman getting him back, the end. I mean, and I like the theatrical version. I'm not even the Donner cut guy. I like the theatrical version of that movie. So I go that. Then it starts to get a little more hard for me as far as like where to go from there, because but I gotta say, I gotta go 89 Batman, because every time I see 89 Batman, man, that movie's just fantastic. And I really enjoy that movie. From there, see, that's my top 3. I probably got to go Batman v Superman, because it combines the best of, well, it takes that Man of Steel thing, and it takes some of what I love about 89 Batman, and it kind of just catapults it. And I love Batman v Superman. Like you said, these are like it's hard to put these in order, because these are all such great movies in my mind. And if I have to round that out, I love The Dark Knight, but I got to go Batman Begins. And here's why: because Batman Begins blew me away when I saw it. I was stunned when I saw it. I mean, to go from the Batman and Robin movie to Batman Begins, and honestly, that movie, that was before I was really into like knowing when movies were coming out and really being up on some of that stuff. And so I didn't even know that movie was coming out. I found out the week that movie came out that Batman Begins was coming out. I'm like, there's another Batman movie coming out? Heck yeah, I'm there. And I went to go see that movie by myself, and I fell in love with that movie.
I enjoy going to movies by myself now.
You know what? There are times, yeah.
Anyway,
well, now that I'm married, I mean, with Tiff, like when I was married before, I went to go see The Matrix. I went to go see The Matrix, the last one, Revolutions. I had to go by myself because my ex-wife didn't want to go with me. I didn't get to see X-Men in the theater, and you want to know how pissed off I was about that? She ended up liking X-Men when I rented it, and I was pissed off because I wouldn't go see it alone in the theater, Tony. And so I didn't get to see it in the theater, and I regret that now, because I wish
the first one?
Yeah, the first one. I wish that I had seen it in the theater, because she would not go with me. And so I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'll watch it when it comes out on, whatever. And then I rented it one night, and we watched it together. Like, she came down and she actually watched it with me. She's like, oh, I really like this. And I'm like, you suck. And so yeah,
so
that was one. Well, hey, at least you're not stuck in that nightmare anymore.
Exactly. Now I got a woman who'll drag me out to a comic book movie if I don't take her to it. So
exactly,
and she'll dress up too.
Heck yeah.
Well, when I saw X-Men for the first time, I was 18, and I was the drive-in I would eventually work at for like 10 years. They had it there as a double feature with Gladiator.
Nice.
Cool.
So I got to watch those back. That was a good double feature. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
And hello to Bruce, Jenner Custom Toys. Good to see you, sir.
The thing I remember the most about the 89 Batman, though, was the VHS tape, and it had a Diet Coke commercial before the movie started.
Yes. Yes, the Diet Coke commercial, dude.
And it had Alfred drinking the Diet Coke.
It was super memorable for me because I had just started high school when it came out. And it was huge. Like, I had Batman everything, like I was going to get a Batman tattoo, it was game on. I didn't, thank goodness, but everything was Batman.
Batmania was real, man. Batmania was real. Batmania was so much that at 13, I actually got a girl Batman shirt. I had a Batman shirt because I couldn't find one that just had the bat emblem on it. I wanted one so bad, but I couldn't find a black one. I ended up finding a teal one and wore that. But my first Batman shirt back then, because I couldn't find one because everything was sold out or not my size. And the first one I found was, I didn't realize it was a girl shirt. It was a white shirt, and it had Batman, and then it had like a little bubble up here, like a little cartoon bubble, and it was like a girl saying, "He better not be with that Batgirl again." And like, I didn't know it was a girl shirt. I just knew it was it had Batman on it, and I was just like, "Heck yeah, I want it." And then one of my friends was like, "I think that's a girl shirt, Enosh." I'm like, I don't care. It's got Batman on it. Screw it. Nowadays I'd fit right in, but like back then, like everybody, 89, everybody questioned me, but whatever.
Back in the days with pump tongues on the shoes, little
dude. British Knights. British Knights. You remember British Knights?
Oh yeah.
BK.
Yeah, heck, and the shoe ain't nothing without the BK button.
Wasn't that MC Hammer? Didn't
how you like me now?
Yeah, I think it was MC Hammer.
Yeah, MC Hammer was the spokesperson for that, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about those commercials here. I really don't know if I'd ever seen that.
You've never seen the British Knights commercial?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude. Yeah, British Knights.
What is BK?
I remember the BK lights.
British Knights.
The BK lights.
So
shoes?
Yeah,
Shirts?
they were shoes. No, they were shoes.
Oh,
they were shoes, and they were just, that was like the big shoe at that time. It was like, and they had this little gold button on the side of them, so you knew that they were authentic British Knights. And yeah, man, all these different sides. I had the red ones with the big B and the big K on the side, because that was like the, there was like a certain style that was really popular for a while. And yeah, man, I think I had 2 or 3 pairs over time, but yeah, man. Though there was a big deal. Yeah, MC Hammer was the spokesperson, and
so it was like get your hip hop gear, and that was it. Like, so was it more for like guys that were like into the hip hop kind of thing, or
no, it really wasn't even that. I mean, MC Hammer. I mean, look, MC Hammer was like just starting, so I mean, it was at the height of MC Hammer's. You can't touch this, all that stuff, So I mean, it wasn't. I don't even think it was really that. It was just the cool thing at the time. You know what I mean? Like, Run DMC was Adidas, and everybody had to have Adidas. Yeah. Adidas were always too. I got wide feet, so I could never fit. Get out of here, Jacques Pierre. Who's MC Hammer? Always acting like we're so old. Whatever,
he's here to call us old.
Well,
really?
Hey,
who is
I love you.
Hammer?
I love you.
That's a lie.
Who's MC Hammer? Yeah, exactly. But so, speaking of being old in our favorite comic books, I mean, do you guys, comic book movies, do you guys see this today?
I did not.
So apparently, we're getting, and this is kind of cool. I think this is kind of cool that it says this is from DC Comics itself. Batman 89 and Superman 78, the movie worlds of Superman 78 and Batman 89 are heading to comics in 2 all-new DC Digital first series. The movie worlds are Ken there says the gothic mentality of Tim Burton's Batman lurks around every. It's like, Alfred, it's time to take a bath. I've got to get clean. The city needs me. The city deserves me.
Gotta get to the bath.
No, Bathman.
His arch enemy, Mr. Bubble.
His bat cave is Bath and Body Works.
He throws bath bombs at you.
Oh God. Oh God. The bathroom.
Lavender.
The batarang.
Yes, Chris Patton's here. Chris is the biggest Batman fan. He's a good friend of mine. Chris, yes. Absolutely, man. Yeah, so this is interesting. So anyways, so Batman lurks around every corner in Batman 89 by screenwriter Sam Hamm and artist Joe Quinones. And You'll Believe a Man Can Fly in Superman 78 by writer Bob Venditti and artist Wilfredo Torres. Beginning in July 2021, decades after both Richard Donner's Superman the movie and Tim Burton's Batman introduced generations of fans to silver screen versions of DC's Man of Steel and the World's Greatest Detective, DC is returning to these beloved properties to tell new stories set within these worlds with the publication of a series of Superman 78 and Batman 89. Now, remember, they already did Batman, was it 66 or 68? Is that what it was called? Where they went back and like they made a book, a comic book for the old Batman and Robin TV show. And they did the same thing for Wonder Woman. in the 70s. So this is cool that they got around to this. But basically they're gonna. I like that artwork, man. Doesn't that artwork look good though?
That looks good.
I dig that. And then it says, continuing the twisted adventures of DC's Dark Knight from Tim Burton's seminal classic Batman movies. Batman 89 brings in screenwriters, blah, 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 to pull on a number of threads left dangling by the prolific director. The gothic mentality behind the world, while still rooted in a sense of realism, helped inform many of DC's global fans' first impressions. Many of their first impressions on the Dark Knight's Gotham. In the new Batman 89 comic, Ham and Quinones will help usher in the return of Selina Kyle, Catwoman, and will debut a new Robin.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting.
So can we just call this what this is then? This is Batman Returns 2.5. Really? Like, they're calling it Batman 89 is a marketing tool. It's a continuation of Batman Returns.
Well, and this is interesting. Yeah, but this also says Quinones has a vision for Harvey Dent Two-Face, which I'm very happy about, because if there's one thing about Batman Forever that I do not like is Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones is fantastic, but Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face was horrible.
Agreed.
But it says that it's going to come as close to movie magic as a comic could get. And then I love this artwork because it's actually drawn, of Christopher Reeve. And I've said it, like I said earlier, I think it's sad that there seems to be this divisive thing between fans of the Snyderverse and these movies, because yes, they're cheesy. Yes, they're a reflection of their times, but it's part of the character's, history. And so I tell people who act like Christopher Reeve can be the only Superman, let it go. And I tell people who act like this one can't exist and you can't appreciate this one, let that go. We talked about this just last night on the stream a little bit, that it's like, or the other night, stop with this. That's not my Superman. That's not my Darkseid. That's not my Batman. It is what it is. These are all this. It's the character, and characters can evolve. They're going to tell stories set within the world of Richard Donner's Christopher Reeve's Superman movies. Bystanders are surprised and delighted by Superman's abilities, and Lois Lane doesn't yet know that Clark Kent is secretly Superman. The sheer thrill of seeing a man fly, leap, or stop a bullet will be reflected in this environment where Superman has just been introduced, inspired by Richard Donner's films. And then, so this will debut with 6 digital chapters of each new series on July 27th, followed by new chapters of each comic book for the 6 weeks that immediately follow. I'm going to pick this up. The 12 chapters of each new series will also publish 6 printed comics between August and October as a hardcover, and as hardcover collections in October. I may just pick up those, the hardcovers, but I definitely want to read them. And yeah. So what do you guys think of this? I mean, are you excited for this? Is this something that Jarbo, I'll start with you because you've already kind of,
no, it's cool. It's cool. But I think the marketing is absolutely kind of false. You know what I mean? Where it's like Batman 89, but really Batman 92. Or I think that was when Batman Returns came out. Right. But hey, cool, man. Like, bring back Selina Kyle, bring back Harvey Dent, give us more of that world. That was great. Like, I'm fine with it. You can just tell that it's just like they're marketing. They're just trying to play on that nostalgia, which is fine.
Well, it's pretty obvious what they're doing here. I
was watching Film Junkie stream earlier tonight, and he was talking about this. Yep. And he was saying like it's like a melding of both the 89 and Batman Returns outfit. So it's like, because the logo is different. He said the logo was different. I didn't see it up close then because it's hard to see on the phone.
Oh, yes. The Batman logo, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, the Batman logo is different. That is too bad because, like, let me see if I can zoom it up here maybe a little bit. Because, if you look at it, it's not the 89 Batman logo. It is the logo, the more regular traditional Batman, logo. So I do agree with Dave on that, that it's too bad that they didn't bring back that cool stylized, thing. But to answer Chris's question real quick, are these going to be only digital? No, it sounds like there's going to be both digital and then physical copies, both in separate comics and then hardcover editions of each. So I think these will be nice companions to the movies.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be definitely going to read them. Superman 78 should be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah.
because I always enjoy that movie. As much as anybody else. Like we'll have to see if they continue. Did they say if they're continuing that based off of Superman 2 or?
No, it sounds like it's going to be between. It's going to be so after Superman 1 because Lois does not yet know that Clark is Superman, and then it's at right after. It says right after he's introduced. So
so it's just going to be. It's not going to be Superman Returns. It's going to be Superman. There we go.
Yeah. But
wait for that one to kick in.
But how are you going
I'm tired, so my jokes are going to be terrible.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I love this though. I mean, like I love the styling that looks like Christopher Reeve. Like I appreciate this for what it is. But yeah, I mean, it's not really. Superman Returns was meant to be the new Superman 3.
Yeah. And it got horribly shafted. That's my take. It got horribly shafted. I think that movie is actually aged considerably well, in my opinion. I think it was kind of like, kind of like BVS to an extent, right? That was trash when it came out. The theatrical versus ultimate, whatever. But I think with age, people have kind of grown to really like it. So it's, and I'll go back and I'll watch Superman Returns and I'll be like, yeah, like, it's totally Reeves. Like it's totally Donner. I mean, I may have mentioned this before, but after Superman Returns came out in June of 2006 at Comic-Con that year, Bryan Singer and Richard Donner were there at a panel. And so you could totally tell he was pulling from the Donner aesthetic.
Oh yeah.
And that was pretty, but actually I did find out why Frank Langella was Perry White.
Why is that?
Because he was Skeletor.
Is that why?
That's why. Bryan Singer is a gigantic He-Man fan,
awesome.
Which kind of makes sense when you get to know Bryan Singer as a person. A little bit of sense for what he's into. And then, but Frank Langella was Skeletor, so that's what got him brought on to play Perry White.
Well, a couple of things here, and then Brian, I'm interested in hearing your take. Kenneth here says, I'm excited for this. I do wonder, though, if the events from Crisis Hour 1 will be touched on at all in Batman 89 before Gotham 89 Earth got destroyed. That's well, I don't know. I mean, is it? But see, no, I would think that would be much later because Knox in that when he shows up on Crisis on Infinite Earths, I get what you're saying, Kenneth, but Knox is much older. So if this is supposed to be taking place like right after Batman the movie, which it sounds like, because it sounds like both of these are taking place like they're supposed to fill in the gaps maybe between the first and second movies. And so if that's the case, you won't see, I think, the any of the events of that, given if that's what you're talking about. And then also Bat City Stuff here says, Enosh, I met the guy trying to pitch this DC Comics a few years ago at Nashville Comic Con. He's been trying to get this made for a very long time because he wanted to continue the Burtonverse. That's cool. That's cool. And then real quick, and I know that it's kind of a little bit off topic, but Man of Martin with $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you, Man of Martin. Man, I always feel like because like long ago I did the gospel thing that like every time I just think of Man of Martin. Oh yeah, Man of Martin. Let's see. What can we give Man of Martin for his super chat here? Now that we have all this goodness, how about this? Since you're talking about the Snyderverse and everything, how about this? Why did you say that? There you go. Man of Martin says, I hate Disney Star Wars, but if that's your thing, more power to you. Why can't people accept that Snyder has a great plan? Where's the reciprocation? Man, I wish there were like an easy answer for that, Man of Martin. We all just sat here and we talked about some of our favorite comic book movies, and I agree with Matt that when you look at things like Watchmen, for example, Watchmen is just absolutely fantastic. It's such a great movie. I didn't even care about Watchmen when I went to go see Watchmen, the movie. I had never even read the comics. I had never read anything about that. Didn't even know much about it. And I walked out of that movie going, holy crap, what did I just see? That was fantastic. It made me inspired to go read the comic. And then I sat there and said, well, dang, I like the movie better. But it was just, I mean, his vision for it. And yeah, I mean, he knows what he's doing. When you read comics alongside of what Zack Snyder puts into it, I mean, and you guys feel free to say anything you want to about that. But that's just how I feel. I don't know what it's going to take for some people. Some people will just never understand and appreciate Zack Snyder. I mean, that's just,
well, I think a lot of people have been conditioned to not like Zack Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's been a punching bag for a long time, unfairly, I might add, because his movies kind of tend to hold up after time, right? Go back, watch Dawn of the Dead, still slaps. 300, my God, still looks amazing. Did you guys see the 4K? Looks great. He makes good movies. He makes very stylized movies. His style is his calling card. For some reason, people out there just don't like change, and they think that he's trying to do something different. Like, there are people out there that still dislike Watchmen because the ending was changed. Like, why wasn't there the giant squid? Well, I mean, thematically, it's very difficult to adapt the giant squid in a way that is believable. Like the Watchmen TV series used the giant squid and actually showed it in an episode, but it showed the aftermath of it. So it didn't have to explain its legitimacy in the moment, but we were allowed at that point to go, here's the, 30 years later, this is the aftermath of it. It's accepted as canon or fact or whatever you want to say. So it's able to get around that. Whereas in the movie, it's like, okay, well, Ozymandias is like, he's doing his thing. He's got to trick him. Having everything go against Dr. Manhattan just makes the most amount of sense. I think the movie handled the ending way better because it was a legitimate threat that was tangible and it was there.
Yes.
And so it's like that. And that was also the script writing from David Hayter did a good job on that. So I think that people just don't like Zack Snyder because they just can't accept certain things for some reason. And I do think a lot of it is he's been a punching bag and he doesn't say anything about it. He doesn't come out. He doesn't cause waves. He doesn't attack anybody. He's made those comments to Sean O'Connell about how there's people who he would like to say certain things to because they've got it all wrong. And it's like, well, you can't, I'm at this point, F it. You should just do it, just come out and like, what are they going to do? Stop the movie from coming? They've already invested 70 million,
Exactly.
Like just say it and then just get it out of your system. And I think because like, people, I don't know, man, like it's weird because I always feel like I have to defend Zach and I don't feel like that's fair to him and also to like us that are fans because so many people just don't get it. And like, I don't know, maybe I'm oversimplifying it. I don't quite know, but I love the guy's work. I'm looking forward to seeing anything he puts his hands on.
Yeah. I mean, anybody else have a take on that?
I'm going to collect them. Obviously, you know me, I'm an avid comic book collector still, so I will probably pick up the
for these? For these?
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts on I got Tony blocked. Tony, did you have any thoughts on the Zach thing before we move on from that?
I think Zack, you know what? I like Zack Snyder as a director, and most of the stuff that he does, I don't like it all. Don't get me wrong. Watchmen was a little long for me. But you know what? Honestly,
wait, which version? Which version?
Which I think I have the director's cut actually. So.
Okay, because I'm like, you've got your 3 hour, your 3.5 hour, and your 4 hour.
I'm pretty sure I have the 4 hour. So I was
that's the ultimate edition.
Yeah, well, a friend of mine who lives here was actually in the movie, so yeah, he played the doctor, one of the doctors in that was looking after Dr. Manhattan. So he was one of the guys in the lab coats.
Nice.
Who gets, yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up. I'll watch you in the movie for sure. Why not? So, yeah, no, I like Zack Snyder, and you know what? I'm kind of looking forward to this. I'm very much looking forward to the Snyder Cut. Watching the trailer yesterday, a friend of mine were talking about it. The only thing I'm curious about, have you heard? Are they going to bring Green Lantern in?
We know that there will be Green Lanterns in the movie, but we don't. From right now, it doesn't sound like Hal Jordan will be there, and it's iffy on
Sam Benjamin. It's Sam Benjamin, ladies and gentlemen. That's who's going to be there.
Didn't?
Why did you say that? Sorry. Anybody who knows the battles that have gone on between internet YouTube personalities and the Sam Benjamin thing, look, I don't say anybody's going to be in anything or do anything until I know for sure. And I just don't know. Like, that's no offense against anybody else or, anything anybody else has heard. We don't know. We just really don't know, Tony.
I'm just curious because it looks like a different movie. Like,
it is.
Because I was saying to my friend today, I was like, do you remember seeing the trailer for the original one when it first came out? And you see Cyborg, he's running. You see Ray Fisher running on the football field. That was never in the movie, though. I never saw that scene in the movie. I only saw it as a trailer before the movie came out. And then I was like, after the movie, like, do you remember seeing the football game in this movie? Because I don't, so that's why I was wondering if he had actually shot scenes with a Green Lantern in this 6-hour epic thing that he had planned originally, and we're going to see something even thrown in at the end or something, you know what I mean? Like, or just like a green hue in the sky at the end, and you're like, oh, Green Lantern, and then credits, or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Brian, do you have a feeling on that? A thought on that before we move on?
No, I just want to say how I feel about the comics here. I'd be really interested to see how they, bridge the gap between Superman 1 and 2. And the same thing with Batman. I mean, that was one of my disappointments with Batman Forever. It's like you had Commissioner Gordon and you had Alfred, but that was about it. And like the tone of the series changed from there, and everything was different. So I mean, not that to say that I don't like Batman Forever, but like, when you compare it to the two that preceded it, it's like,
Schumacher just went a completely different direction, though. Like he just wanted something
cartoony,
different. Yeah,
lots of neon, guys. Lots of neon.
And you know what? But it's like still, I appreciate Batman Forever an immense amount. I love that movie. Like I know Tom Hanks ballsack is very adamant that Batman and Robin is the better movie. I would like to know which drugs he is on, because well, yeah, that too. But it's like I think like
Nicotina's mom. Sorry, wrong one. Tastes like sugar.
There we go. I do think though that no, I lost my train of thought, man.
You were talking about Tom Hanks ballsack 69 and Batman.
Oh right, yeah, no, he's wrong on that. The 89 and Batman Returns are very good movies. I would have liked to have seen them finish a trilogy or to do more with it, because they are, like super dark. Like Batman Returns is not a movie for children. You know?
No.
That's true.
And it's considered a kid's movie.
But it was marketed by McDonald's.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It was marketed by McDonald's, man, heavily. With the penguin biting, people's noses and making, double entendre jokes and, about
Christopher Walken killing friggin' Michelle Pfeiffer. There you go.
Yeah, still better than Catwoman though.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
There's a lot on that.
I like Batman Returns. I like Batman Returns. I won't hate on Batman Returns. It's just a different movie. It's like it went full, kind of strange, whatever.
Yeah. Is that on HBO Max?
Yeah.
Okay, because like I haven't watched that movie in probably like 25 years, or not. I'd say less than that.
Weeks ago.
I need to watch it again. It's been a long time. The Penguin's henchman, like his number one henchman, is Doug Jones, the actor who plays Saru on Star Trek Discovery or Abe Sapien in Hellboy. Yeah. So like that was kind of, because I met him I've met him a few times. And so it's always kind of cool hearing him talk a bit about working on that movie, because he was just like, I'm just like a tall clown. I'm a lanky clown. But that's such a weird one, yeah. Because it always comes across like what is it? We're gonna kill all your firstborn, like that whole thing. It's very biblical, to an extent. It's just super like how Warner's let him make it that way. It had Pee Wee Herman in the movie post masturbation scandal, so like you know, you're watching the opening of the movie and you're like, yeah, that's Paul Rubin. His hands are visible. We're good. We're good, folks.
My
We're
good.
Yeah. I mean, but what are you going to do? I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know, what are you going to do?
Well, you know, Tim Burton directed the movie, you know, Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
know?
that's right. He did.
Yeah.
That was his first movie, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Paging Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman.
So this is interesting. Bat City Stuff says it's going to have Billy D. Williams as Two-Face, Marlon Wayans as Robin, and he plans on introducing Barbara Gordon as Commissioner Gordon's daughter. Now, I like the idea of Billy D. Williams getting his rightful place as Two-Face finally in a comic, and I like the idea of Marlon Wayans. I mean, Marlon Wayans was originally supposed to be Robin, and you know, I think it's going to be cool to see how that plays out, and to see you know, maybe this. It sounds like it's going to be more true to Tim Burton's original vision, so to speak. You know, as to where he was going with some of this.
I just find it funny that Marlon Wayans got so boned on that deal. Like so boned on that deal, but he walked away. He still gets royalties for it. Like that is how far along they were. Is that he still? I mean, so it's been what, almost 30 years. He's still probably pulling in some. Maybe not as much now, but you know, like that's just crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree with this. Look, I love Chris O'Donnell as Robin. I think in the second, I don't like the outfit for the second one. I know that they tried to do a Nightwing thing, but I really wish that we would have seen more of that Robin costume. Because I dig that Robin costume from Batman Forever. That Robin costume is, I love that, and I get what they were trying to do with the Nightwing style thing. But Chris O'Donnell was fine, and I agree somewhat. Here, Wanderer. Like, I don't think that I would have wanted to see Marlon Wayans, like in the movie. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm interested to see what that take would look like in the comic. In the comic, I can be more forgiving because they can just write it and you can just read it and be done with it. You don't have to really get into it where, you know, you're distracted by the fact that, you know, okay, this actor is, you know, doing this or that. But also, Marlon Wayans may have completely surprised you. I mean, look at Michael Keaton. There were write-in campaigns. People were so dead set against Michael Keaton. Look at Heath Ledger. People were so dead set against Heath Ledger. If I've learned anything about Batman films, it's just let the casting happen. You know, like wait until it comes out because, you know, they're obviously seeing something that I'm not seeing when they cast these movies, you know. But
I think the Batman casting, though, they were just trying to find a bigger star every time. You know, it stopped being about Batman. It started to be
Clooney, yeah,
like Clooney, Kilmer. You know, like they were trying to get these guys, and that's how they were marketing these movies, as opposed to just having some guy there as Batman. You know, like.
Well, yeah, with Clooney, he was in prime ER mode. You know, like.
Yeah.
At that point in time, George Clooney was a hot commodity, and then Val Kilmer not so much. I mean, if you compare the two, but
I think Kilmer. I would have loved to have seen another Kilmer run, because I really liked him in Batman Forever.
Yeah.
I just feel like that world, like that kind of gothic neon gothic world that they created for that one, was a good mix. And then when they went to Batman and Robin, it was just like they upped it, and it would just. Yeah. But I will admit, though, I did appreciate like the neon because I liked the contrast. Like how like with Mr. Freeze, like how the neon blue, and then you had Poison Ivy with the pink and the greens, and you know, I thought that it felt very interesting, and I also really liked the design of Bane in that one.
Oh yeah,
really?
You know, because I liked it for some reason. Maybe it's been again long time since I've seen it, so you know, looking at it now through a lens of an adult might be a bit on the different side of like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was kind of hard getting past the museum scene in the beginning with the ice.
Oh
skates.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's so Batman 1966 though, right?
Yeah. It's the hockey team from hell.
Yeah.
It's so
it was so trying to play up the Adam West stuff, and it just like, you know, I don't know, maybe that's why Batman Begins was as refreshing as it was.
Yeah.
Because you watch it, it's like straightforward Batman, and then the very end of it's like, hey, here's this new crazy son of a bitch. He's got a card.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, Joker. And then, like, you know, 3 years later, we get this epic movie that lived up to the hype. And then, unfortunately, The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad of a movie.
No, I will say, though, the Bane voice is the best thing to come out of that, because we got the Bane character on Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And he is my favorite on that show. He's so funny.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy. I like Tom Hardy, so, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But what is it with Christopher Nolan and like completely like undecipherable dialogue?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I'm still trying to figure out Inception, man.
yeah. I'm still trying to figure out the ending to Interstellar. It's like, it was like, hey, this is one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever. And then it's all like Kubrick. And you're like, no, no.
It's like, is it a loop or what the hell's going on
It's
here?
just like, oh wait, he was the ghost who was haunting his daughter. That's creepy. Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie, so excellent.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you haven't seen Interstellar, dude? It's a good movie. It's like literally just the last third of that movie makes so little sense.
Like he tries to go meta, but it's like too much.
Yeah, but like leading up to that, like the way that he made Interstellar, leading up to like the docking sequence was just amazing. Like it was such a good movie. I love Inception too, and that's easier to follow than the ending of Interstellar. When Christopher Nolan doesn't have his brother with him, things get a little bit weird.
Okay. Give you that.
So anyway, that's my thoughts.
Manna Martin with another $5 super chat says, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. You right there, Manna Martin, pointing right at you, man. Thank you so much. Says, best DC comic books, All-Star Superman. I love All-Star Superman. You will get no arguments from me there. Whatever Happened to the Cape Crusader. I've never read that one. 1994 Supergirl, Angel of Fire, and Flashpoint. Fight me.
Nah, man.
You guys ready to go to war?
No, all right.
94 Supergirl? Is that the Christy Swanson one?
No, that's the 84. Christy Swanson.
No, you're.
Wait,
are you thinking the movie
Supergirl?
Wait, what?
Supergirl, yeah, the movie.
That was
Jennifer.
No, it was Helen Slater.
Helen Slater, yeah. I'm like Christy Swanson. She was Buffy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and she.
That's right.
But on the subject of animals, she is batshit crazy. I'll tell you that much. So, like, Christy Swanson is
cuckoo. Really? Eh?
Yeah, she used to live in Coronado, San Diego. My friends knew her, and they were like, you'd see your social media posts, and you're like, that's nothing compared to how she is in real life, apparently. Anyway, I'm gonna dip out because I'm starting to fall asleep, and it's just I'm tired.
All right, man.
So I'm gonna go get some sleep. We just got hit with that massive snowstorm, so it's
so did we, man. We
cold.
got hit with a huge storm as well.
How many inches did you
Almost
get?
2 feet. Almost 2 feet.
Wow. Yeah, I got about the same. Yeah,
about 18 inches, 20 inches, something like that. Yeah.
It's been nuts since I was very happy we didn't lose power. Because that happens a lot out here, and but it's just like I went out doing deliveries tonight. I'm just like a lot of driving. Oh, it's so tiredness. But all right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Hope everyone here has a good night. How many people are watching out of curiosity? I can't see.
Right now, 60.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. What you guys need to do is you guys all need to like this video. Okay. You need to give Enosh all your likes and Enosh all your money. Okay. And I say this.
And that's why we have him around.
Yeah, I'm going to hype him up a little bit. All right. I've seen Enosh this big. So if you want an OnlyFans, right, from Enosh, you got to give him all your money, and then he'll give you something. It's going to be wild. You've seen the shower photos, right? It's like a tripod.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I do know I do have a 10-inch Superman.
And a 6-inch dark side.
Yep. And a 6-inch dark side. So take your pick, and like a 5.5-inch Mr. Bill. So
Oh no!
take your pick. So.
All right. I'm done embarrassing Enosh. I think it's funny.
Not embarrassing to me. I also have a 3 3/4-inch Doomcock.
Well, you know what? That's a personal issue.
It's a little
that you got to work out with Christ.
It's a little below average. So,
well, it is cold. It is cold in Michigan. So now we can kind of.
It is cold. It is cold.
Oh, all right, guys. I'm gonna go lay down in bed and work on a script or something, and then pass out. So,
all right, bro. We'll
all
see
right,
you,
guys.
man.
I'll see you. Have a good one.
Yeah. Hey, but no, I like this. I'm not familiar. I think the Angel of Fire one the one with Dark Side. I think that might be that one. And if that's that one, I like that one. I'm familiar with it, but I don't think I've ever read Whatever Happened to the Cape Crusader. And obviously I know Flashpoint. Flashpoint, yeah, I like Flashpoint. So, yeah, All-Star Superman though, man. I'll tell you what, guys. All-Star Superman is a great Superman story. Have you guys ever read All-Star Superman?
I don't read.
No.
Well, you don't even have to. So they've got an animated movie of All-Star Superman.
Ooh,
and it's fantastic. I mean, it's really great. It's basically just like a few days in the life of Superman. He finds out that basically he's at the end of his life. You know, like he's like overexposed. Luthor basically overexposes him to the sun's radiation, and so basically he's kind of going through the last few formalities, trying to put everything, in order that he wants in order before he passes. And very touching story. Very, man. Yeah. Really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Check that out.
Yeah. Oh no, Mr. Bill. For sure. Oh no. So the other thing, and this is kind of quick, but and I know that Max touched on this a little bit on his stream just a little while ago. Rian Johnson directing a trilogy of his own will not go away. Look, you all know that I love The Last Jedi. You guys know I've been on record. I've said it many times. I love The Last Jedi. I'm sorry if you hate me for it, but I do. Here's the problem. I don't think that it's a good idea for Rian Johnson to make any more Star Wars movies. And here's why. It's too divisive. Look what happened to Solo, right? Look what happened to Solo. As soon as Solo came out, people who didn't like it, they went after Solo, and it's very unfortunate because honestly, Solo is a good movie. Solo is something that a lot of people are now starting to discover, and everyone that I see who actually discovers Solo, they say the same thing to me. They're like, "Oh man, like I missed out on Solo. I wish I had seen it in the theater now because man, it really was. It was actually pretty good." And I'm like, yeah, well, you know what? Don't let other people dictate to you the stuff that you like, or that you're gonna like. See it for yourself, make your own opinion, and and go from there. But I think at this point, no matter how much I love The Last Jedi, I just feel like it's so divisive now. That like if they announced tomorrow that Rian Johnson, like his trilogy was getting ready to come out, there would be so many people that erupt, and then we'd have to deal with the fandom menace. Like, can you imagine, Brian? Brian, you've been a part of that, man. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if tomorrow they announced that?
Okay, so here's the thing. I personally, I just don't think it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think it's funny how it basically turned Mike Zero to the dark side. Rian Johnson did, because after he zeroed it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so right now the Menace has fodder with the Gina Carano situation. Yeah. Okay, and I'm almost interested to see what the source is. I mean, I know Rian Johnson's been known to troll people on Twitter, and I can see this being a troll from him just to piss off the Menace. But I can only imagine it'd send him off into whole areas of crazy. I mean, honestly, I think it'd probably be a good thing because all they would do is just bitch about Rian Johnson.
Oh my God, it would probably be a great movie or great trilogy or whatever. But the thing is like,
ruined Johnson,
oh
Roundhead.
I can just see it now. Hello, my angry viewers. It was announced today that Rian Johnson is now going to be doing a trilogy. It is obvious that the people at Lucasfilm and Disney do not care about us or anything that we have to say. Yeah, because we don't care anymore. Yeah, we're all over it. No, some of us didn't ever care, and some have woken up to the truth. And
the shtick is getting tired. You know?
It is, man. I my gosh, but yeah, it's like the story that just like I don't know, but here's the story. I'm reading it off of Dark Horizons. But it says nearly 4 years ago came the announcement. It's hard to believe it was 4 years ago. That filmmaker Rian Johnson was working on a whole new trilogy of films set in the Star Wars universe. I remember right before The Last Jedi came out, they were talking about how they loved the movie so much that they greenlit him another trilogy right away. That was one of the 2 trilogies in the works. The other one was from Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. That one crashed and burned, didn't go anywhere. Then it all went to hell. Johnson's Star Wars: The Last Jedi came out. The fan base divided, then toxic. And then turned divided, then toxic. Solo went ignored at the box office. Rise of Skywalker had numerous problems to deal with and limped to its finish. And Benioff and Weiss signed up for a Netflix deal and shortly after exited any Star Wars project development. Johnson's trilogy was seemingly in limbo, something that seemed confirmed in December last year when the Disney Investor Day announced a whole new slate of Star Wars projects, including a new Patty Jenkins directed film, and Johnson or his trilogy weren't involved. That said, both Taika Waititi and Kevin Feige are working on Star Wars films projects, which weren't announced either. Now, in a recent interview with USA Today's Soraya Wilson, Johnson has confirmed that his trilogy is still moving forward at Lucasfilm. He does advise that the project currently has no dates or timelines attached to it due to his schedule with other projects like the Knives Out sequel, which I did not know that there was a sequel coming to Knives Out. I really like Knives Out. I thought it was a really good movie. But no further details on what the trilogy is about were revealed either. Come on. I just...
Well, movies can get in development hell, you know what I mean? And we'll never see the light of day with them. So it's like, sure. I'm not gonna until Kathleen Kennedy walks up on stage and says, "This is the movie. This is when it's coming out." Then it's just rumors.
Yeah. But I mean, it's interesting that he's still talking about it, and like you said, he could be trolling people. He definitely could be trolling people. But it's an interesting thing to keep talking about, like this far removed. So I mean, it's like with the other things that he has on his plate, why would he need to troll people about Star Wars? I don't know.
True. Well, I mean, here's the thing: like, if we let the sequel trilogy rest, just kind of like we did with the prequels, okay? Because it took a while for the prequels to get that nostalgia behind it. And it finally did when The Force Awakens came out. So it's like, people's attitude towards the prequels changed quite a bit. I mean, I know mine did. I hated them for the longest time, and then they brought in supplemental material to make them last out. So if Johnson does something like a few years from now with the continuation of like Rey, Finn, and all that kind of stuff, I mean, it's probably going to be hard to get him to come back. But I think once that fervor and hatred for those movies dies down a bit, I think we can come back to that. I mean, there is a path to redemption for it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Also, by the way, I do want to say thank you to Prakash Swain for sending us this, reminding us that this is the Batman we all want.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I would definitely like to. I really hope that we get to see him one day. I hope that he ends up being in the Flashpoint movie. Man, be great to see.
How could you not have Thomas Wayne in Flashpoint?
Right? If it's Flashpoint in any kind of incarnation, like, my gosh, yes. But yeah, why Kiki Sphincter says, ask Mike Zero. He has all the scoops.
That's what I'm saying. What's the source on this? Like, it was actually an interview with Johnson, but like, where did we get this from? Reddit or something? Like
4chan, 8chan, 6chan, 7chan. How many chans do you need?
Just something Mike Zero is going to put out to stir the pot, So it's like it's just like Brie Larson being involved or Keanu Reeves being involved with Star Wars. It's like no one's officially been linked or anything, and if Brie Larson thinks the fandom is toxic, I can't say I blame her.
We'll get Brie Larson in the Ryan Johnson trilogy.
Oh man.
Oh
just
my god!
Will explode! Boom!
Maybe I should start. Maybe I should. Yeah, Kelly Marie Tran in it. Maybe I should start writing the next Mark Uno video.
Yeah, we're gonna bring back Admiral Holdo through the veil of the Force. Oh man,
Admiral Holdo. That would be that. It'd be awesome. Is Ray goes into finds the veil of the Force, goes back, brings back Holdo, Kelly Marie Tran, like all the people that they love to hate, and then somehow accidentally Cara Dune ends up getting killed. Sorry,
the superhero Star Wars haters all stars.
And I look, I love Cara Dune's character. I love Cara Dune, and I actually, I think that I think that whole thing has been so politicized, and people are on such different sides with what's her name,
Carrero or
Gina Carraro.
Gina Carraro. Yeah, Gina Carraro. I don't know about all that, like what happened there,
my whole thing is it's not fair to people who have jobs that sign things that say that they won't, in any way disparage the company on social media.
Yeah.
I've had many jobs like
that. I get that.
So regardless of what you said, it's just the fact that she kept saying it, and
I know that there's a fine line between free speech and that, but also like we don't know the conversations that went on behind the scenes, and honestly, she really hasn't come out and talked about it, so I really don't know her point of view on what I've heard. A lot of people speak for her.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the problem. That's why I'm really not saying much about it right now, is because I have not heard Gina actually come out and say anything from her side of the story. Right. And, so until I hear that and I can judge, hey, what's going on here? I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to listen to Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers tell me like what happened to Gina Carraro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
I don't want to hear that source. No.
No, I'm not going to listen to Doomcock tell me about what happened to Gina Carraro. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Like, I enjoy her character. I think she's a beautiful woman. I think that she's, I just saw a picture of her as Wonder Woman yesterday, and I was like, whoa, man, she would make a great Wonder Woman. If you're going in the classic, vein of Wonder Woman, she's, I'm sorry, what were you saying, Tony?
I was going to say, I don't ever want to see anything about her that references her political views. Like, I don't want to see, she's a Republican or a Democrat. No, I want to hear, I know you're from Texas, you like guns, and right there, everyone says, Republican, she's being silenced, or whatever for having an opinion. And I don't agree with that. Like, I think there's no politics involved in this. You said something on social media that maybe you didn't mean to say, or it came out the wrong way, or maybe you meant it. Who freaking knows? You know what I mean?
Or maybe people are taking it like even out of context in some ways. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think the fact that
she sarcasm button on this thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a way I can type and go, I'm being sarcastic. When someone reads that, they're going to be like, this guy's a, whatever. But there's no sarcastic font. And maybe sometimes that's one of the things, right?
Yeah. No, but the other thing is who she ran to. You know what I mean? She ran to the one place that just flat out disparages Disney every chance they get. You know what I mean? So it was only a matter of time. She basically became a cheerleader for the Fandom Menace, and that's where we're going to leave it. So I mean, more power to her.
And that's where I am disappointed in her, and I don't know if she knows who they are and what they've become, or whatever, or if it was just basically she ran to whoever would first kind of like open up their arms to her and kind of welcome her in. I don't know, but because honestly, I really believe that a lot of people, who are out there, like they don't know who these YouTubers are. All these YouTubers running around like, acting like they're, something. I think Matt Jarbo put it best in a tweet that I saw. I wish he was still here to laugh about it, because like he said something about, I think it was like Drunk 3PO, and I got nothing against Drunk 3PO. I don't know him. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't have anything against any of these people. I don't know them personally. All I can go off is what they do. But like these people who are like jumping to support different people, like support people, like it's really interesting to me. Because you could tell that they're doing it to serve their own purposes. They really don't care.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look what they did. Star Wars Theory. Star Wars Theory like has not been a part of that whole thing, and yet those guys came around Star Wars Theory, and I don't feel that it was to support Star Wars Theory because
it was to get subs for them. I mean,
it was pretty transparent that they were there trying to get their own thing going, and
the grubby hooks in it,
it's kind of unfortunate, but it is, at this point it is what it is. Dan of Steel with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Dan, appreciate you. Says a new track for the Zack Snyder's Justice League OST was released at midnight. It's called The Crew at War Power at Walter Tower Music. Give it a listen. I definitely will. Thank you for making us aware of that, for sure. So, and thank you for the $5 super chat. It is greatly appreciated, Dan of Steel. So guys, take a listen to The Crew at War Power. That's an interesting title. I wonder what it means. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hearing the music, man, from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Man, Junkie XL. Oh gosh, it's good.
It's going to be the death of Qui-Gon all over again. It's going to spoil the whole movie.
Yeah, I just don't think, like, to kind of bring it back around full circle, I just don't think at this point that Rian Johnson needs to be, needs to be doing this, and,
taking a step back.
Yeah. And look, I always think that we need to take a look at everything all together, all things all considered, and then make good choices and views based on that, not on something somebody tells you. Don't just take something that I tell you and run with it and go, well, Enosh from Point Dexter Lounge said this, so this is what I believe now. Okay? I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that.
Your own mind, damn it.
Right. Yeah. Like, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to say, hey, right. I don't want you to listen to Tony and just like run with something that Tony says and then be like, well, Tony was on Point Extra Lounge. So I'm going to take his word of gospel and I'm just going to like go off of because I know people who are like that. Like they'll come at you with an opinion. And then when you tell them something different, all of a sudden they'll be like, oh, well, yeah, now that's my opinion. Right. Because they want to be liked. They want to be accepted. They sometimes you got to challenge what somebody is saying to you. Right. And you have to weigh it out. And most of the time, something that somebody is saying is not all bad and it's not all good either. You know what I mean? Like, you have to weigh it out. And we don't always know what somebody's motivations are, what somebody's thinking. Silent Scotty says here, but if you're telling us not to do that, does that mean that we don't do it because you told us not? Maybe.
Feedback loop.
Here we go. Don't make up your own mind.
Nicotina's mom. I don't know. I can't tell you what to think. You make up your own mind, Scotty. Mladen says, to hell with you. I will listen to Tony. Preach to me, Tony. Preach. Tony, it's your show. I'm just going to go away. All right, there you go.
All right. Well, so let's talk about vodka. Just kidding.
Tastes good when you mix it with damn near anything.
Pretty much. I mix mine with raspberry juice. That's my personal thing. So, you hydrate and you get drunk at the same time. So it's good times.
That actually sounds pretty good.
It's delicious.
Little jealous
vodka,
now.
huh? Vodka. That's I think that's copyrighted with Dave Pena's stream. So I don't think that we could take that. So maybe we need to adapt something else. Maybe something like this. Scotch! Scotchy, scotch. There it goes down. Down into my belly. Kind of a big deal. That escalated quickly.
Can you please do one that says Tony?
I can. I got about 12 of those. I haven't even uploaded them all yet. That was a fun night over at Dawson's, for sure. Man of Martin with another $5 super chat. Thank you, Man of Martin. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I don't even know what to give you now. I gave you that. Let me read. Given what you're saying, we'll give you a crash and burn.
There you go. What the? There goes Santa. Oh.
I just like, is that a shoe falling off? Like,
probably. Man of Martin says, Disney is a crap company. Gina didn't know she was fired till they slandered her on Twitter. Yet let Pedro say the same junk. Disney needs a standard. And look,
through the context.
Yeah. So here's what I say to that. I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying, Man of Martin, and I know what things look like on the outside, right? Like I know what things look like on the surface, I should say. But we don't know what conversations were going on. We don't know. We don't know what conversation she had because she hasn't said anything yet. There, like I said, unfortunately there's a lot of people assuming or telling us what has happened, yet we don't know. And so that's all I know to say to that, because look, Disney has its own problems. Every company has its problems. I mean, look at Warner Brothers right now. Look at all the stuff. I mean, God, that we're going on with Warner Brothers right now, and the Snyder cut and everything that happened there. So, I mean, we're talking about companies here. So, I mean, no company is perfect. I've worked for companies that have major flaws, and sometimes the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing, and vice versa, and people don't have a clue as to what's going on.
Well, no, I'll tell you straight up though, the fact that she kept going is why she is no longer employed. She was told to stop in November. Like, I'm sorry. I have no sympathy for her whatsoever. You get told not to do it. You get told to behave, and you don't do what you're told. I'm sorry you don't have a job. What do you want me to do? Like, you want to talk about standards? Those are standards. Like, I don't care what Pedro said. You have to understand. Feel the room, okay? When you're dealing with Hollywood, expect to be dealing with leftists. Period. Okay, and try your best not to upset the apple cart. And I
do agree with this, Man of Art. I mean, like, I don't know that she has. I haven't seen her actually come forward and actually make like an actual statement. Like, if I've missed that, I missed that, and I apologize.
She did an interview yesterday, I think.
Oh, did she? Okay, so yeah. Well,
Jarbo was talking about it earlier in the stream.
Okay, yeah, because yesterday, I mean, I was at the hospital with Tiffany. She had to go to emergency yesterday, and so we were at the hospital for like 7 hours yesterday. So I was out of touch yesterday. So
how's she doing?
She's doing really well. She's doing much better. Still in some pain. She had some issues come up, and just some stuff, but she's going to bounce back. She's going to recover. It was a thing of we couldn't get into the doctor for a few days, and so they told us, hey, take her to emergency and get her checked out because she needed to get a couple of tests done and stuff, like in a what's it called, a ultrasound or whatever. And so, but she's all good, and so she will be all good, I should say. I do agree with this. Whatever happened. And I've heard just what Brian has said, and I've heard people say that, other things about it. And I have to say, I've heard what Brian has just alluded to, and that is the fact that she was told over and over again. I haven't seen anything from her. And like I said, that's why I haven't really reported much about the Cara Dune, about the Gina Carano thing, because usually when I talk about something here at the Poindexter Lounge, I always tell you guys, I talk about stuff that I know about, because I try to make sure that I do my research, and then, hey, if I do an episode about something, There you go. And that's why when you hear me say, hey, I support somebody or like a support like a Ray Fisher or something like that, I've done my research. I know what these people have said. I can balance it out, right? And go, okay, here's my opinion. There it is, right? With this, like I haven't heard her statement. I haven't heard her say her piece. But I will say that if that's true, that she was told over and over again not to say something, yes, there's free speech. I believe in free speech. I believe that, like, even if you say something that I completely disagree with, what on any level, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't believe in cancel culture. I don't believe that we start going after people, trying to cancel people, whatever. But I do believe there comes a time like where if somebody is saying like things that are threatening to others, that if they are, endangering to others, well, then obviously we got to step in. But, like, I think it's kind of dangerous to start like censoring people's opinions. But that being said, when you work for a company and you're an actor, well, not just an actor. I mean, look, like when you just work for a company or whatever, there's a code of conduct and there's a way you got to,
Taco Bell, man. Like,
yeah, you got to conduct yourself. And there's things that companies will tell you, you can't do X, Y, Z, or, like Matt was talking about earlier, I think, like you can't just disclose certain things or whatever. Or if they ask you not to do something, that's what you got to go by if you want to be employed. Remember, employment is not necessarily a right. It's a privilege to be employed by somebody. And I think this is where we've kind of gotten off in the last while, is like where we feel like it's a right for us to work for some place. And how many times have you seen where people work someplace for a while and they get really complacent, right? And they get flippant about that place that they work. And then they just kind of walk in, kind of acting like they own the place. And like, you see it a lot of times, like with a manager or an assistant manager, someplace that like, just like they walk in every day and the people who work there are just like, you piece of crap. But they walk in every day with their head held high, like they can do no wrong and they're never going to get called on it. And then what happens one day? They get slammed with something. And then it's like, well, I didn't see that coming. Well, sometimes that's just the facts, and that's what I can say about it. But I do agree that companies do need standards. It sounds to me, and like I said, I still have a lot of research to do on this and a lot more to look up, but it sounds to me like there was something in place and I'm not sure where the balance is off, but I do know this: you got to have a reason to fire somebody, because people can come back on you, especially when you're talking about, actors. They've got unions, right? Yep. They're in the, you got the Screen Actors Guild, you got other you got these guilds and these unions. You can't just fire somebody just to fire somebody flippantly. You got to have a reason. What's that? What's that?
Right.
Well, the thing is she wasn't fired. She was not hired back on.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's their right.
They didn't extend her contract. So that's it. I mean,
that's just a rumor I heard, or did they ask Lucy Lawless to take her spot?
Nah, it's just fan cast.
Yeah, Lucy Lawless was who I was trying to think of earlier, who I always thought would make a good Wonder Woman.
She was in Amazon. She was Xena, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. As far as Pedro, look, I agree that sometimes there are discrepancies between what some people say, that some people can say something and immediately like they get hit with that. Like, I've had to go through that many times in my own life where I have felt like I was around people that I could not speak freely. I could not speak my mind, because if I did, I would get attacked for my points of view and my opinions. And that's a really sucky place to be. Okay. It's a really
lot of the
place
reason
to
why
be.
people keep politics out of it,
And that's why I hate getting in the middle of these things, because you know what, to be honest with you, I consider myself to be conservative in many ways, yet I'm a centrist. So I try to look at things from both sides of view, and there's times where I see things from one side and I see things from the other side, and I try to balance that out. I am not an extremist. I am not one side, like hard right, hard left either. I look at things the way that they are, and I try to make decent decisions out of what's presented there. And I think most people are like that. And then you have some people who are on these far ends, and a lot of times they make things worse for the rest of us, right? You know, for us who are just trying to live our lives and trying to do the best, you know. So, you know, whatever Pedro said, you know, like all of them, like really, I'll be honest with him, I don't care what any of their politics are.
No.
You know, like I wish they would all just keep their mouth shut and just go act and be the Mandalorian and be Cara Dune or be whoever else that I want to watch on TV or on a movie, and let me just enjoy that without having to hear from them about how I should think, act, and live my life. I don't need actors, and I don't need those people to tell me how I should live my life. That is not what I'm looking. I'm looking to them for entertainment.
Yeah, Mark Hamill. Shut your damn mouth.
I love Mark Hamill.
We're sentient beings, right?
I love Mark Hamill. He's Luke Skywalker, man. But you know what? The thing is, when I look at Mark Hamill, I want to be entertained. I don't need Mark Hamill to tell me how to live my life. You know what I mean? And so I think that's with anything. I think Gina Carano is going to land on her feet, just like Darth Tasty said here. He says it looks like she's already maybe signed a deal with a streaming network. You know, whether she's hurting for money or not is kind of irrelevant. I mean, like, people need to be able to work. People need to be able to, you know, like I'll be honest with you. I think it's kind of hypocritical when you have somebody like James Gunn, who got in trouble for tweets for 10 years ago, and everybody wanted to forgive him and give him another chance, which is fine. I'm all for giving people another chance, but they were willing to do that. But then you look at the guy who was on The Flash, who was on the other end of the spectrum and said some things, you know, that were derogatory, and even said, hey, that was me, you know, back then, and I apologize for those things. I don't feel that way now or whatever. And they immediately fired him. I don't think that we should be canceling people. I don't think that we should be like headhunting people and trying to go after everybody who has a differing opinion or something. You know, Ryan hit it here. Censorship can be a pretty slippery slope that a lot of us, we cannot even live up to that standard. If we're trying to do that. And I guess that's all I want to say about it, because I really don't want to continue going down that route, because you know, I think we all know and understand what these problems are. The problem is we're not the one able to make these decisions. If people like you and me, guys, and you guys watching this stuff, and we're having this conversation, I love having the conversation. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if we were the ones having these conversations and having to, you know, to hear it, then, you know, we'd be fine. But we're not the ones making those decisions, and we're not in the positions to be able to tell people, you know, those things. So, you know, so it is what it is. You know, awesome. I'm glad we agree. Visit says, but you don't want to hear them. So isn't that such? No, because they have every right to say whatever they want to say. Doesn't mean that I want to hear it. Doesn't mean that I need to hear it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to listen to it. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not coming to them for that. There are people in my life that I come to when I have a problem, or when I need some direction, or I want some input. That's fine. Everybody wants to volunteer information, don't they?
Yeah.
You know what? There's too many people willing to volunteer information, but not even willing to listen. So I guess, you know, that's just, I guess that's what I feel about that. You know, whether or not Rian Johnson gets a trilogy, as it were, you know, time will tell. But I'm tired of controversy being all over my Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, for the love of God, can I just love Star Wars again? Can I just enjoy Star Wars for once in a while, without being like told like how I should feel, shouldn't feel, whatever. Hashtag I love Star Wars. All right.
It's like, remember when movies were escapism?
Oh my gosh. You're telling me, man. Yeah. So, all right. So here we go. Yes. Izzy Blue. That's where I'm at. Hashtag I love Star Wars. Hey, guys, y'all just calm down. Y'all just calm down. Okay. So here's something that should get you all riled up about something else, right? And that is and how many of you guys play video games, right? You guys any of you guys PlayStation guys?
Yeah,
No, sir.
I have a PlayStation 1. I still play Diablo and Final Fantasy 7.
Nice. I got a PlayStation 2. I got a PlayStation 2.
The only reason I don't have PlayStation 2 is because it wouldn't use the memory card for Diablo 1. So I actually had to buy an original system so I could get a memory card.
Yeah. Hey, Saggy Melons up in here. Hey, Saggy, how you doing? If you're around, Saggy, let me. I know we're on our last, but I'm actually. Hey, Saggy, if you want to jump in here, message me on Twitter real quick, and I'm going to send you the link. I'm trying to send you.
Yes, William. I agree.
Oh, there you are. Okay, I found you, Saggy. Because I know that you're a video game person too, and I'd like to get as a collector, this is something that's been bothering me for a while, and now that I'm realizing that people who play video games and other things are having to deal with these same things and these same issues, this is kind of bothering me a little bit, and that is scalpers.
Oh, jeez,
scalpers.
Should be a capital offense.
Oh my gosh.
Unless it's to a hockey game I want to go to. Then it's okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
If you're standing out front of a stadium, I'm all right with scalpers, okay? So
yeah.
Ooh, you know what? I
good giant seats.
Manna Martin with another $5 super chat. Thank you, Manna Martin. You're fantastic. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate your support for sure. And says, I want a movie made about vampire Batman, aka Batman Crimson Mist. Any thoughts on that, guys?
I know nothing about that one. Unfortunately,
I don't know a lot about it, but I do know exist. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Brian?
I was never really big on the books, but I like the cartoons and the movies.
Yeah.
So that's about
right. Like he said before, he's not a reader.
No. Well, my thing is I when I was younger, I have this thing where my right eye kind of like shifts when I'm focusing on something. So it's really hard for me to keep focused. And what happens is the words start kind of crossing over. The last book I read was Harry Potter 7.
All right. Well, hey,
it's
all good.
Audible is awesome.
there you go. Hey, that's all good. But I haven't read a lot of Vampire Batman, Manna Martin, but I am aware of that story, and it's interesting. He's a bat. He patterns after a bat. So that's a movie about how do you fight off that? I don't know, but hey, I definitely be interested in seeing it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel once again. Miss Saggy Melons. How are you, Miss Saggy Melons?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Good to talk to you. Good to see you. You doing all right today?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, hey, so here's something interesting that I came across today because, like I said, I am a big collector of toys and whatnot, but and I run into this problem all the time where hey, SK, love you, man. Thank you so much. You have a sexy day. Later. Hey, we'll see you later, SK. Thank you so much. And Kenneth, I'm right there with you before we go on. Kenneth, I'm right there with you. Hashtag I love Star Wars. Hashtag I love Marvel. Hashtag I love DC Comics. Hashtag I love Disney. I just like stuff. I like stuff. What can I say?
Like stuff.
I like stuff. I like stuff. Stuffy stuff. Yeah, there you go. But so I run into this problem all the time, and it really sucks when there's something that seems to be a little popular out there. There's a toy or a collectible or something that's pretty popular, and you get these guys who show up at Target at literally, bright and early before the sun comes up in the morning. They're online. They've somehow gotten, the secret codes to what came in on the truck that morning or what's coming in tomorrow. Oh, hey, man. Thank you, Manna Martin. Hey, yes, stay safe down there in Texas. I know you guys aren't used to all this crazy weather. So, hey, stay safe. Thank you tonight for your support and for the super chats. You're awesome, man. And we'll catch you next time, buddy. Yeah, Vincent, you're right. Scalping is huge among anything popular. I've heard about people using bots to purchase things online, then list them, and that's actually what I want to talk about because it happens all the time. And like even when especially during the pandemic, trying to buy toys, because everybody knows I'm a big toy collector, and I find stuff, and it's like, Hasbro will say, hey, coming up, we're going to have, these toys available on a Friday, and you go and it's going to come out at noon, and you're sitting there. And I literally had this happen to me. I'm sitting there in front of my computer. It's like 11:59. It flips over. I had the site open. I had the figure up on my screen. All I was waiting for was it to click over. It clicks over. I went to go hit it, and it said sold out. Literally 10 seconds after the thing went live.
Mm-hmm.
I was so pissed off. I can't even tell you how pissed off I was to have to deal with that. That being said, I was not aware that video game people had this same issue with scalpers, but apparently y'all do. And there are now whoops. Okay. Oh, I thought I got rid of somebody for a second. I didn't mean, I accidentally closed that. I didn't mean to close it. So now there's this, I read this story and I had to laugh because apparently these scalpers are so upset because, and they're so upset that people are saying, basically vilifying them and saying that they, have done a bad thing by buying up all the stock that's possibly out there, using bots to do it, and then selling it like at absorbent prices, sometimes, $450, $500 over the price of what something should be. Well, and look what we just talked about, Gina Carano and Cara Dune. Look at some of the action figures right now for Cara Dune. I've literally seen a Black Series, figure. Darth Tasty sent it to me. A freaking Black Series figure of Cara Dune that usually sells for $20 that it's been on clearance because literally, like the time has already come and gone when they were popular, right, with the Mandalorian, and so like there's some back stock there, and it's just kind of put on there, and they were on clearance, and now people are scalping them all for like $400, $200 to $400 for a Cara Dune figure. It's crazy. But now these guys are very upset about the fact that people have a problem with this. And I see it all the time in toy groups that I'm in where people are just like, oh, you're just jealous. You just, it doesn't matter what you think, y'all just suck it because I'm just going to do it. I've seen literally people buy up all the stock of like when the new Masters of the Universe figures came out. I literally saw somebody the day that they came out, literally bought the entire freaking display, had the display in their living room and posted pictures in our toy groups that said, hey guys, hey, I got them here for you guys. I went out and got all these for you guys so that you guys can get these figures. Like, come and get them. And jacking up the prices.
Right. Well, part of that, especially with the consoles, part of this scalping issue, and Daniel actually nailed it with that comment blaming Sony. They should have had sold one for each person. He's not wrong because the issue is, do you actually know how many units that they actually give to retail stores? Let's just say just retail stores when they have pre-orders. Nearly not enough. Mm-hmm. They purposely don't give enough because it's to basically give the illusion that this is a rarity. It's going to sell like hotcakes.
Yes.
They want to up the demand for their system, so they won't send enough units so people will pre-order. When the PlayStation 5 was available for pre-order, the websites were literally overwhelmed and literally shut down. So it's not just the scalpers, it's also the companies, because they're not sending enough units. They do it purposely to hype up the console to get people to want it.
I agree. I agree, Saggy Melons. The thing is like with like these new GI Joe classified figures, these 6-inch GI Joe figures, for example, Hasbro will send out 1 or 2 figures to Target. They're a Target exclusive, so you can only get them at Target. So I can't go to the next store down. I can't go to Walmart. I can't go over. Like some. They got a couple of figures. That you can get at GameStop, but there's been now 2 different waves that have been specifically to Target. Both times now, they have screwed the pooch. They will send 1 of those figures, literally one to Target. And you see it and I had to have somebody show me how to get online and find the codes and stuff like that, in the UPC and all that stuff. And I'm looking and I see it, the store opens at 8. I wake up at 6 in the morning. I had an alarm set for a month every morning, waking up to see if they were that, and it would be like, hey, here's 1 on the truck. And then you go, and then the people at Target want to give you a hard time about looking for it because they haven't unloaded the truck yet. And then I've showed up where there's a guy right behind me, just staring daggers at me because I got one, and then I've gotten there before where I've seen there were 2, and here goes the guy walking out in front of me with 2. Right. And I've seen it with G.I. Joe. I've seen it with DC figures. I mean, I'm just,
yeah.
I'm over it. And the thing is yes, it's a combination of those things, but it doesn't help when there's normal stuff that does get shipped. And all of a sudden you got these guys who literally go in, they buy everything. And then if it doesn't sell very well, then they just take it back to the store after the fact. But then by then, people who have not been able to find those things, some people have gone out and spent this money. But what ticks me off about this is now these guys have the audacity to be upset that people are looking at what they're doing negatively. Listen to this story that came out here. It says, the issue of scalping of in-demand new technology has become a more urgent one in recent months. People who have been using bots to snag game consoles like the PS5 and Xbox Series X and graphics cards, and I don't know how to pronounce this. What is this? NVIDIA's, and RTX 3000 lineup in bulk, and then immediately reselling them, aka flipping, on eBay and other e-tailers for a markup of hundreds or even thousands of dollars more than their retail price. How bad has it gotten? In late December, TechSpot reports that Walmart implemented preventative security measures onto their purchasing systems. Something I wish that they would do for toys more. God knows. Security measures onto their purchasing systems a few hours before selling off a bunch of PlayStation 5 consoles. When they went on sale, those measures blocked more than 20 million bot attempts within the first half hour alone. Those who made it through then faced audits, with all orders confirmed to have been bought by bots subsequently canceled by the company. Now, in a recent interview with Forbes, a man who claims to have purchased 25 PS5 consoles in January and resold them for around $450 profit a piece says that this kind of reselling is a valuable industry. And both the bad press and angry reaction these scalpers have been getting is unjustified. Before I go on anymore, let me say this. Screw you.
Yeah.
Screw you. I don't even
Nice.
play video games, but you know what? Screw you for having the audacity to say that you have a valuable industry. You are not an industry. If you want to sell something, go out and get a freaking business license like the rest of the world. Order the freaking thing from the company and sell it at your own business or sell it at your own online business. Stop taking advantage of people. This is something.
Man, I'm wondering if this is legal. Like,
it is. It's completely legal. That's the problem.
See, that's horseshit. That's horseshit because it should at least have some kind of a reseller's license. I don't understand why the IRS isn't getting involved.
Well, because
how do you write that off taxes?
Because they sell it on eBay, and yes, it's absolutely legal, and I get that, and that's okay. because to stop it, the problem is to stop it would mean to stop people from just being able to, sell things that, sell anything. And you can't do that because they legitimately bought it, right? Technically, they legitimately bought. Now, here's the problem. You use unfair advantages like bots where, like I said, the clock strikes 12. I go to hit this, and before I can even hit the button, they're all sold out because 20 million in the first half hour were not people who were literally going and trying to buy them, right? Because you can only buy one, right? No. They got bots that are like regenerating and hitting it over and over and over again to automatically buy the stuff that are pre-programmed, written bots. And it screws over the average person who's just trying to buy something. And here's the other problem that I have. Is not just because of collectors like me, okay? There are kids who would like to be able to have a toy for Christmas or a video game for Christmas. And you got these lowlifes out here taking advantage. I do not begrudge anybody making a living. I don't begrudge anybody doing anything on the up and up. But this right here is a problem. And I get it. Yes, 75. Yes, I get it. It's called the free market. But
is it though?
How is it really the free market when you're literally writing computer code to be able to take it away from just everybody? Like, so I don't have computer code that can just buy me one, right? I shouldn't have to, as a consumer, go through that kind of mess because somebody wants to buy them all up and sell them for these ridiculous marked up prices because they don't want to go through the proper process to have a legitimate business.
It's price gouging.
Same thing. Well, think about this. You know where this started? Think of like Ticketmaster. This is where this all started. Like you go on, you're waiting, you got your code, tickets go on sale at midnight. All of a sudden, 1 second later, they're all sold out. How is that possible?
Yep.
Same, right? And then the next thing you see the reselling sites, which I have no idea how those are legal, but reselling sites, minutes later, same tickets, $100 more. I don't know.
Because people buy them. People buy them. That's the problem too. People want it so bad that they will buy it. If they have the money, they're going to still buy it. And that's why these people are still doing it because they're like, well, somebody's going to eventually buy it because you can't get it anywhere else.
And I'm guilty. I'm guilty of buying it. I am 100% guilty.
Cylon, I know it's not the fault of the computers. I love Cylon. I know it's in the hands of bad people. I know that's the people that I'm talking about. Look, but the reality is like we don't have anything. There are bad people, and then they'll sit there though and brag about it, and like literally put it online and just like shove it in your face, and but see, okay, so here's where I say that it might be a little different because look, I have a problem with the idea. This is a good point. I mean, like taking taxpayer money to make medicine, then being allowed to sell it to people for 20,000%. I get that. I totally understand that thought, but at least they're the ones making it, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like they're setting the price for whatever it. I mean, like I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's right to like gouge. I think that this
morally reprehensible.
Yeah, I think that that price gouging in general for something is absolutely atrocious. But that's the thing. It's like you're literally talking about
it's profiteering basically. And you know what they did to the profiteers of World War II? You know what I mean? They had a foot drop and they hung there for a little while. So
but this continues. This continues.
Oh, there's freaking more. Jesus.
Oh yeah. There's more. It says so if they blocked 20 million, in the first half hour alone, those who made it through then faced audits, whatever. Says now in a recent interview with Forbes, right? So this guy says both the bad press, they're getting bad press. They're just getting bad press. And the angry reaction these scalpers have been getting is unjustified. In the interview, he asks for sympathy.
Nah, bro, you're a piece of
Sympathy.
Right, you're trash. That's trash.
See, and it's this kind of crap right here that yes, gets me this angry, because you're going to sit there and ask for sympathy. And it says, there seems to be a lot of bad press on this incredibly valuable industry, and I do not feel that it is justified. All we are acting as is a middleman for limited quantity items. No. You don't need a middleman for a retail product.
See, I would give them the benefit. I would give them the benefit of doubt, right? Mm-hmm. Say they bought a PlayStation 5 for however much, like $800, $900, whatever. If they maybe increased it by, I'd even give them maybe 100, right? Or even 50, just for the convenience of going to the store, picking it up. You know, you charge them a little convenience fee, right? I'd be like, all right, cool. But if you're doing a couple $100 because you know it's rare and you know people will pay for it, that's scummy.
Yeah.
If you want to make a little profit, I can understand.
Even a decent amount of product, but here's the thing. Like, even that, because that's the problem, is like, that's how some of this stuff started off at, right? It's like, hey, we'll buy something and maybe we'll, jack that price up, 10%, right? So if it's $1,000, right? 10%, that's $100. What about 20%? A couple $100. It's $1,000 item, right? So I've gone through all this stuff, but then it's gotten out of control, where now literally people are jacking up the prices so ridiculously high on things because they just don't care. And I see it every day on eBay. I see it on that, like, people literally, they act like they have something that they don't have. Go to any like antique store or like resale shop or something like that, and you literally have people like literally trying to gouge people and just hoping somebody ignorant enough who doesn't know what something is worth or whatever. And I get it. Yes, I totally agree that things are only worth as much as somebody's willing to pay. But these people confuse people, making them think that things are rare, that things are hard to find, that things are something that they're not. And they gouge the heck out of these people. And some of these people, like, literally, they're trying to just, when we're talking about simple things like this, I'm sorry, it really frustrates me. And so this guy here is asking for this and saying, we're just acting as a middleman for limited quantity items. The middleman is the store. Like, you have the manufacturer, you have, like, it's already seen markup from the company making it to the people delivering it, all those things, like, the warehousing and all that stuff. And then it gets to the retailer marks it up there, makes their profit. And now you are acting as this other person that should not exist.
Mm-hmm.
And not exist.
And not to mention, Enosh, they made it a limited quantity item. It's not like it was. They made it a limited quantity. So you generated the limit because you bought them all. Like, hello.
I know. And here's where I will agree with him. He says he also says that he has received several death threats from angry gamers and has reported them to the authorities, while he and his business partner also say they feel that they are helping people earn some extra cash. So, because this is what happens. So first of all,
quick.
Yeah,
I have to go.
Okay, buddy. No problem.
I just want to let you guys. I want to say goodbye to you guys. I'll see you guys soon. But thanks for tonight. It was awesome.
All right, man.
I remember it all, so it's great. And I'll see you guys soon. Okay.
All right, man. We'll see you later, buddy. All right.
See you.
We'll see you, man. So, so here's the thing. Nobody should be in fear for their life. Okay. And that's wrong. But this is pushing people's buttons. And look, at the end of the day, it's video games, right? And it's toys. So nobody should be like, I'm angry about it. Yes. Right. And I will yell and I will scream and I will huff and I will
life or death though.
Right. But I ain't going after nobody about it. Okay. Like, I ain't gonna fight anybody over it. But, like, here's the thing. They're saying that they're helping people earn some extra cash because, they'll pay somebody a couple of bucks to go out and hit like all the stores. right? For them, because they can't be at every store. I am putting out a video, folks, on the Patreon and members site of me trying to go to a Target and buying a G.I. Joe figure. I called the Target. They told me that it was there. They put it back for me. I wanted one. It was a hard to find item. I drove 45 minutes to this Target store because every Target store around me had been picked clean, because most Target stores only got one or two. Some of those, yes, went to people who legitimately just showed up early and bought them. Yes. And that's great. Good for them. They got up early, man, and they got there. But these scalpers went, and there were many that showed up locally here that people had literally bought, and now we're like scalping a $20 figure for $150 to $200. I drove 45 minutes out of my way for that one. The guy literally looked at me and said, "Oh, yeah, we're not putting that out yet." Literally, these people have people on the inside who are working for them, who will get them product that's not even supposed to be sold yet, before it never sees the retail floor. Some of this stuff never actually gets out onto the retail floor, because either the people working there many times will put it back for themselves and literally buy it later, which is, you got to be kidding me. And these things. So I left. Come to find out, the next week, guess what? It ended up going out on the floor. I called, somebody else put it back for me, and I drove again down there and ended up finally buying it. But I had to make 2 45-minute one-way trips. So, an hour and a half, 3 hours I spent total trying to get an action figure, because people are crazy. People are like taking this way too far. And it says the article goes into detail about the kind of bots being used in these sorts of transactions. Bots that can cost thousands of dollars each, interact directly with server APIs. And in the case of one UK retailer, they were able to exploit a security loophole and order stock from them before the consoles even went up on the storefront. Like, how is that free market? Tell me how that's free market when, like, literally, like, these bad people are writing. Yes, and I agree, Cylon. Look, yeah, computers are great. Like code is great. Like, bots are great. But, like, when these people are exploiting them and exploiting security loopholes to literally order stock before they even go up on the storefront, how is that free market? How is that right? It says these scalpers are also highly organized, in some cases with full-time staff to monitor hundreds of websites at a time. One source spoken to said that retailers can mitigate this with tried and tested anti-request forgery techniques, but unfortunately, many sites just don't bother because they're selling it. They're selling their stock, so they don't care what happens on the aftermarket. It says how much scalpers are to blame for stock shortages also isn't clear. An even bigger problem, according to Business Insider, is the global computer chip shortage caused by the pandemic. That shortage has begun to impact a range of industries, with not just consumer electronics, but phones, car manufacturers, and many other fields now feeling the impact. Increased demand for chips combined with the disruptions in the supply chain, such as factory closures, has led to chip scarcity. As a result, companies like Sony and NVIDIA simply cannot increase production due to the shortage of semiconductors and other components. Whatever the case, this has resulted in a worrying new trend: price gouging by retailers. Kotaku has snagged photographic proof of some Australian secondhand consumer electronics retailers selling PS5 stock at wild markups. In one case, just shy of $1,500, and in several cases, nearly $400 over the retail price. As previously reported, legislation in the UK is being proposed to ensure that consumers can purchase gaming consoles and computer components at no more than the manufacturer's recommended price, along with making the resale of goods purchased by automated bots to be made illegal. Thank you, Jesus. However, the bill is unlikely to pass. PC Mag recently...
I was looking. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
But I was looking up some of the statutes. Certain states, it is illegal to scalp.
Mm-hmm.
Like California. Like,
really?
Yeah. So it's like it's not a federal issue, but it is a state issue.
Well, and what's funny though, dude, is I see people scalping toys and stuff like that all the time in from California, because I see people, do
so
it.
I mean,
I don't know how they get away with it.
It just, God, dude. Like Vincent says, it feels like it's organized crime.
May I address a comment?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Black Star said GameStops and Best Buy employees are also doing it. Now I've worked at GameStop. Now you're not wrong. They do it. However, they're not supposed to. And if they get caught doing it, they get fired. So for the record, it's not like GameStop's allowing it. They can't control can completely control what the employees do. It is against policy to do things like that. Now, when you said earlier, Enosh, that some of the employees put things aside for them to buy later, that's true. However, most people usually buy one. They're not scalp. Some of them probably do scalp, but again, they're not supposed to. It's the manager's jobs to make sure that they fire anyone who does that. But again, sometimes, like, because I've worked at GameStop before too, and if something came out that I wanted, I would be like, can you put it on to the side for me, and I'm going to buy it. But it's only one thing. It's not like I'm buying a ton. But just to correct people so they don't misunderstand that saying, oh, GameStop employees do it. Like, they do, but they're not supposed to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Darth Tasty said, here, you may, you also have employees like Target and Walmart who, they're putting stuff aside. I know people who've done it, and then they sell on the aftermarket at double and triple the price. And then, of course, there's Silent Scotty who says server APIs. You're talking dirty to me tonight, Enosh.
Computer guys, man.
I know. I need to get Silent Scotty to write me some code, man, to just be like able to like get in there and stop him, man.
If you want to talk dirty to him, just be like 1001 100
11011.
You're talking binary to me.
Heck yeah. Anyways, PC Mag recently revealed that approximately 50,000 NVIDIA RTX 3000 graphics cards have been sold on eBay and StockX as of late January, often at double the normal pricing. The issue is expected to continue for some time as shortages of graphics cards and game consoles are reportedly set to keep going well into 2021 and won't start easing until somewhere in the back half of the year.
Okay, it might be legal, but there's a certain reserved spot in hell for these people.
Right.
I'm telling you, man, Sophie, that's some hot binary code. Heck yeah, it is. 11 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 0 0 0.
Star Trek Season 2, The Next Generation. The binars.
But yeah, look, it's just. Look. Oh, if I froze, did I freeze?
Yes.
Can you hear me? I froze.
Yes, but at least your face doesn't look all weird, so you're fine.
True.
There we go. Can you hear me?
There you go.
Yeah, you're moving around a little bit now.
That's okay.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Darth Tasty says, and Darth Tasty knows, we talk about it all the time. Says there was a game. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. There's this little thing over here that I wasn't know what. I'm gonna turn this off.
It's like a delay in the camera. It's weird. It's creeping me out, man. Now we don't hear you at all.
Now he's completely frozen. See, I'm not one for people getting fired, but dude, he had that shit coming. Look at that. And GameStop employee caught selling 3 PS5s. Yeah, no, bro.
See, they're coming after me. They don't like the fact that I'm talking about it, so they're coming after me. Darth Tasty says there was a GameStop employee in Philadelphia, and Darth Tasty and I talk about this stuff a lot because we're collectors, and I got him collecting stuff, and it's frustrating. But a GameStop employee in Philadelphia who got caught selling 3 PS5 and 3 of the new Xboxes ended up getting fired for it. It happens more than you think. Like, I'm sure it does, but not everybody, not everybody's doing it, but it's like,
they got fired. That's
Jacob,
what that's.
Jacob Luddy up here, man, with some binary piece right there.
I saw 2 in there.
Oh, was there a 2 in? Oh, there's a 2 in there. Hey, that's non-binary. That's non-binary.
Does not compute.
No. Does not compute. Tastes like sugar. Anyways, but yeah, I just when I read this tonight, I was just like, man, this is getting out of hand across the board. People, like I don't know what the answer to it is, because I see it every day as a collector, as somebody who just wants to be able to go to the store. I remember when I first started collecting toys, people look at my collection, they're like, oh, it's so cool that you have this stuff, and everything. It's like, do you understand? This is like over 20 years of my life. Okay. I used to just be able to go to the store and buy stuff, and I'd meet people in the aisles, and I'd see kids in the aisles, man. And people talk about how kids today aren't playing with toys, because all the adults are literally buying all of them.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
The quickest way to fix it is to make it illegal. It should be illegal to resell that kind of stuff without a reseller's license or business permit. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand like how the IRS looks past this. How do you report that income?
I don't know. And I get that it's hard. I get that it's hard to know sometimes. Because, like, for example, like I went to Target a few weeks ago. When I got my Thomas Wayne Batman, my DC Multiverse Thomas Wayne Batman, right? When I bought that figure, the Flashpoint Batman, I got there. I knew that they had 3 of them in store. Okay. I knew that they had 3 of them in store. I went in with my family, with Tiffany, Isaac, and Landon. Logan wasn't with us that Sunday. And I was the one getting one, right? The boys had not expressed any interest in it at all. So I went in, I knew, because I came armed with it, because now that's what you got to do. I came armed, like knowing, hey, here's the DPCI number, and it says that you got one in the back. Can I, can you get one for me? And the lady said, oh yeah, because the thing is like, now I've befriended, because the people who work there, I will say this honestly, a lot of the people who work at these stores are just as frustrated, because these people come in, not only are they buying all this stuff and doing this stuff to the consumer, but they come in and they are rude. They're demanding of the people that work there, right? They don't know how to treat people, because they're all about trying to make fast cash. They want to get in and out before anybody can come in and possibly get anything else, and take out of their bottom line, they feel. And so the thing is, I walked in and I talked to this lady. She's like, oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'll go back and get it for you. She came back out a couple minutes later, and she gave it to me, and the boys saw mine, and the boys collect too. Right? The boys got plenty of DC figures, and the boys looked at them and they said, oh, you know what? I didn't think I'd want that, but man, I'd really like one. And so I looked at the lady and I said, okay, because I have this conversation with these people, right? And I said, you know me, you know that I'm not a reseller, you know that I'm not that, I said, the boys, they would like one too. And, she had, she smiled and she said, hey, no problem. I know you, it's no problem. But I ended up having a conversation with her, and I said, I don't envy you, because how hard would it be to try to figure out who is on the up and up, coming in like that, like, cause somebody else could have come in and said, hey, I want to buy this for, my family or whatever, it's like, I'm buying 3 of the same thing essentially, but it's not just, one's for me, one's for each of my sons. Right. So I know it's a fine line, and I don't know what the answer is, but, you're right. Vincent Rhodes put it best. The workers also have to deal with the frustrations of legit customers afterwards. And it's not fair all around, and I don't know how to stop it. I don't know, what the problem is. And yeah, Black Star says here, the problem with making scalping illegal is that the definition can be corrupted, because then it goes into the collector's market and into the parts market. And you're absolutely right, because then there's a problem, because there are things that go up in value. I mean, like, look, I got all these GI Joes and things, right? And so the thing is, things go up in value. So I don't know what the answer is, but I'm looking at this video game stuff, and I know, Saggy, you play, Brian, you play, and it's like, I'm not a huge video game person, but unfortunately my kids, they didn't want a PlayStation 5.
Right.
They have other gaming consoles. Landon has moved on to PC gaming now, but I did talk to a guy recently at GameStop, and he said that that's why he went to he was done with consoles. He was just done with consoles because he didn't need to keep upgrading a console. He figured, man, I could throw some parts into a computer and upgrade that every once in a while and be fine and be done with, and not have to fight people over this
Right,
stuff.
and it's cheaper. But I have a solution. The solution is really simple. Stop buying it. Stop buying from these scalpers, because when you stop giving them your money, they now have no market. So the problem lies with the people who are buying these things from these scalpers. And another problem too, I wanted to bring up is you don't know what these people are doing to these consoles once they're in their hands. That's why I will never buy a new console from somebody else other than retail, because you don't know what they're doing. They could take it apart. They could put some chips in it or some computer program to get all of them once you put your card in there. So you don't know what they've done to it once it's left the store.
Yeah,
that's true. That's a great point. And I didn't even think about that. I mean, security issues and stuff that you would never know. And I agree. Like that's what we keep talking about in the collecting community is stop buying from these people, because that's why they buy everything, because they know that there's people who just won't, they got to have it. You know what I mean? They feel that they've got to have it and they got to have it now. And they can't wait, or the time has passed. And so it was just the last thing that I wanted to bring up tonight. But I just I saw that, and I just found it very interesting. I saw it before we went live, and I just found it very interesting that this problem seems to be more far reaching. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and going across different collections and hobbies and pastimes and things like that, and that it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating.
It is. It's very frustrating, and it's like I said, it's always going to happen as long as people keep giving these people money. It's not going to stop.
Yeah. Hey, Hollywood, I'm Hollywood Purgatory. Thank you. Okay, it's done. It's done. Problem solved.
Yes.
I'm glad we did some good tonight.
Yeah.
We did some good tonight. We solved the problem. Awesome. Now, hey, if you banned all game console scalping, can you please ban all toy scalping as well? That would be very, very helpful.
Ban all scalping.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Hey, Garguts. Hey, man. I'm literally just shutting down, man. We've been about 2.5 hours now, and I'm shutting down. But I do love you. And we'll get you on a show here pretty quick if you're interested, for sure, man. But yeah, this is something I just wanted to throw in there at the end, because it's a problem. It is a problem, and I just want to be able to enjoy stuff.
Right.
Good Lord. I remember when the biggest problem I had was figuring out how I was going to pay for something if I found something cool. The excitement of walking into a store and finding something that was hard to find. And now it's like you can't even do that. It's all gone before, like I know, for example, on a Thursday, it's crazy. I know when the trucks come in, I know, you know what I mean? Like I know all this stuff, and it's like, I know that on a Thursday, if I don't get to Target by 8 a.m., forget it.
Right.
If I can't be there when they open, and even then, I literally got there when they open, and I don't know how this happened. I have no idea how this happened. I walked in before I got back to the toy section. Apparently, somebody had gotten this thing and walked out. How does that happen? Tell me how that happens.
You got a friend that works at Target?
Right, basically.
I was like, what?
Yeah. It'd be like that.
Oh my gosh. It's just absolutely Vincent, you're right. I love the internet. Oops, there it is. Vincent, I love the internet, but it has ruined many, many things. And but it's good in the same, but whatever. Well, there ain't nothing you can do about that.
No.
It's here.
It's here. It's on us, and ain't nothing gonna go away.
I'm so excited.
Heck yeah.
Can't hide it.
Heck yeah, I am. So yeah, there ain't no there ain't no stopping that now. Nigga Nicotina's mom. Just like Nicotina's mom, there ain't no stopping her once she gets going. So we're here to stay. We're here to stay, and so I'm excited about the future. But yeah, I just don't buy from these scalpers. Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Say no to it. Say no to it.
Risky business, people.
Yeah, that's good. That's a really good point because I had never even thought about that. Man. Yeah, and never bet your Boba Fett.
No way. I will give you all my Star Wars guys if it is. Wait. Except Boba Fett. No matter how sure I am, I never risk the Fett man.
Never. Oh, William, you must have missed the beginning. I got like 12 of these. I got like 12 of these now, and but I only got like 4 even loaded. So I mean, like we got Dawson. Dawson. Ah! Why did you say that? And then I had the cocaine one for Matt Jarbo, but it tastes like sugar. Yum. Stripper. Just for Matt Jarbo. I love Cloverfield. Speaking of Cloverfield, anybody who gives a super chat in the next week or so, or becomes a Patreon supporter or a member of the channel, you are automatically in the running for this Cloverfield 3-pack. Or if you just do it out of the love of your heart, you know what, and you don't like Cloverfield, that's all right too. And we don't have to give you that one because that's not. This is just a little something. Yesterday. Or not yesterday, the day before yesterday, we gave away something. Like there's always something for somebody because we gave away this Batman Noir. If I can get up here. Yeah, the Batman Noir, The Long Halloween. We gave that hardcover to somebody. We gave it to Rel. And like I said, coming up in for the Snyder Cut, we have this, which is the entire Death and Return of Superman anthology, and I'm going to be adding some more to that. I agree, Blackstar. Yeah, we should do like a what up? What's up?
What's up?
So there you go. I bet Nicotina's mom could stop the scalping. I bet you she could. She could if we could just get her to try. No, it's not a prize for a question. It's just that. So those are the ways to enter in for that. And like I said, we'll be giving those away about a week and a half, and then the movies away in about a week and a half, and then we'll be giving the big thing away there, that whole anthology set right before the Snyder Cut comes out. So be looking for that. All right. So Bradley said he watched the original of that over on Dawson's channel when we reviewed the entire Cloverfield franchise, and that's where that came from. Was the end of that. So, all right. So, yeah. Thanks, guys, for being here tonight. Thank you, Brian. Been here since the beginning, bro. Thank you so much for being here. Tell all the good people where they can find you, sir.
Well, you can find me at The Master of None on YouTube and all that good stuff. After I finish up some errands tomorrow, I'll probably be on playing some games. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to play, but we're going to do a stream tomorrow, so that should be pretty fun.
Heck yeah. We'll be looking forward to that. And Saggy Melons, where can they find you?
YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, all Saggy Melons with the Z. Please, for the love of God, people, do not put an S. It takes you to the dark corners of the internet that I do not want anyone to go to. So make sure you put the Z, because if you forget the Z, you will be in hell.
Yeah, you don't want to see them Saggy Melons. We want these Saggy Melons. We always love.
Yes.
Always love having you here, Saggy. Always love to have you here, Brian. Also, thanks to everyone else who was on here tonight. Jarbo, Tony. Who else was here? Was that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was it.
Jarbo and Tony, yeah.
My nights start to overlap on each other. So, yeah. So there you go. I sometimes I'm in so many streams in a day that's like I realized like last week I was like, dang, I was on 4 streams today. I did 2 of my own, and I was on 2 other people's streams. I talked to so many different people because I literally just bought this gaming chair, and already the metal has bent. Like, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I was like, why is it leaning forward all the time? And it's like, what the heck?
My chair is super uncomfortable. It's like, yeah.
Like, I feel like I got to rig something on the bottom of this chair to just get it stable because I feel like I'm on the Starship Enterprise because it does all this stuff all of a sudden. Like, what the freaking heck? It's not supposed to do this.
I'm gonna make a GoFundMe for Enosh to get him a donut for his chair for his bum.
I'm an old man.
Hey, send one my way too. That'd be helpful.
Back in my day, we used to sit in a comfortable chair that had a nice cushion on it. These are hard and bony on my butt, and I don't like it. And these scalpers, back in my day, we used to be able to go to the store and buy something. Gosh darn it. Yeah. Kids these days.
Enosh is gonna be a really fun old man.
I am. I'm telling you what, man. I'm gonna be like Eminem, man. Like when he's like, you see me in the nursing home at 80, like just like cutting it up, cutting the rug, having some fun. But that's all right. No, you know what? I didn't install this, man. I bought this already installed and already put together. So, anyways, I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a look at it. Maybe you can help me. All right, guys. Well, hey. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you to everybody who watched the show tonight and everybody who's a part of the channel. Appreciate each and every one of you. And just remember, treat everybody with respect. And don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter. And don't try to tell somebody that their fandom doesn't matter. Whatever they like, whatever you like. And treat everybody with respect. Try to have conversations and find some happy medium ground on it. Whether or not you lean one way or the other, it's okay. And as long as you do that, you'll always have a place here in the Poindexter Lounge. Until next time, stay nerdy.